The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
There was a fake report that Haason Reddick was going to show up today. Well, that didn't happen. Robert Saleh has ruled out Haason for week 1. Where do we go from here? It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Before we talk about the latest news with Haason Reddick, reminder, with or without Reddick, the watch party of all watch parties is going down Monday night at T-Squared Social in Midtown Manhattan. RSVP if you're coming out with the link I have posted in the description for the video. Free event, games at 8:15. I'll be there in the 6 o'clock hour. You can get there whenever you want. Get there early to get a spot and make sure you come ready to cheer on the Jets, 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 Jets. Let's talk about Haason Reddick. So there was a report last night from Michael Lombardi, who, despite despising the Jets, basically ripped Haason Reddick. So I'll play that for you guys first because I never bought it for a second. And then you have Robert Saleh, who minutes ago said it's fair to say Haason Reddick has been ruled out for week 1.
Well, I think the Haason Reddick, as I've called it, it's been one of the dumbest holdouts in the history of football since Le'Veon Bell's holdout, where he missed the entire season and just left $14 million out there, which some people in the media thought was a brilliant holdout. Le'Veon Bell admitted later that it was stupid on his part, which it was. This is even stupider because Reddick is a free agent at the end of the year. If he went into the Jets, collected his paycheck, got himself 12 sacks, 10 sacks, he's going to make a ton of money in the offseason. Everybody's looking for a pass rusher. So I'm told reliably by people inside the Reddick camp that he's due to come in sometime, maybe today or tomorrow. But I say that as a caveat because I think this whole holdout has been very frustrating to all the people involved in the Reddick camp because I think they realize how stupid of a holdout it is. And they've had a hard time convincing that he needs to do what he needs to do in terms of just going to camp. They're not going to do anything. You're going to be a free agent. So the Jets could be getting some relief here. I would suspect it happens later today. Could he play in the game on Monday night? No chance. No chance. But what he will be able to do is get a game check.
Well, he's not getting that either because he didn't show up today. So that was yesterday from Mike Lombardi. It made the rounds last night, and it turns out to not be true because Haason Reddick didn't show up. And Robert Saleh said it's fair to rule him out for week 1. Reddick is now costing himself game checks. Saleh said earlier, quote, "I'll stand firm that when he gets here, we're going to welcome him with open arms." Sure, but he's not here. So he's not playing week 1. And, the bottom line is this. Haason Reddick, if we're to believe any part of that report from Michael Lombardi, Haason Reddick's agents think he's a moron. That's essentially what Michael Lombardi is saying there. And Lombardi despises the Jets. So for him to basically put it out there from the Reddick agents that, hey, our guy's operating rogue here. He's making his own decisions. We're telling him to show up. For that to now be the latest on this, if true, tells you all you need to know about Haason Reddick. Because this guy's been given some terrible advice by maybe family members or people close to him, or maybe just, instead of saying, hey, Haason Reddick's agents are stupid, let's just blame Haason Reddick. I understand he wants more money. He should get more money. He's underpaid relative to his production. But the whole path to how he wants to get paid was never a smart way to go about it. If he had shown up from the beginning, I think the Jets would have worked with him and redone his contract by now. But how he has handled everything to this point is not going to help him have any path to getting a rework deal. It's just not. And if his whole plan is, well, the Jets lose on Monday, they need me, they're then going to pay me, I don't buy it. The Jets lose Monday, you know what it means? They're 0-1 with 16 games to go, and they lost to a non-conference team on the road, and that team might be the best team they play all year. The Jets then play the Titans, the Patriots, the Broncos, the Vikings. With or without Haason Reddick, I expect the Jets to start 4-1. At the bare minimum, 3-2. So I don't understand the Reddick philosophy of, well, I gain leverage if they lose week 1. Not really. And what if the Jets win week 1? Then what? Then what's your plan? Now he's losing game checks. And everything about this holdout from the Reddick standpoint has been so silly, so stupid. Between the fines and forfeitures that he has cost himself, we're at $5.07 million according to Spot Track. He got fined $101K for minicamp. He's been fined over $2 million for missing all of training camp. The preseason game checks, that's another $2.3 million. His workout bonus he could have had if he just showed up at any point in the offseason, $250K. Jets gave him a discretionary fine of $300K. And now he's going to miss his first game check that is almost $800K. You add all that up, and so far, we're talking about $5.07 million. And then you have a report from another Jets hater, Diana Rossini, who reports that according to her sources, the Haason Reddick philosophy is that he's operating with the mindset that he will die on the sword. What sword are you dying on, Haason? No one looks at you as a martyr. You're underpaid. You should be paid more. But even Michael Lombardi is making the point that I've been saying for months. The best thing for Haason Reddick is to show up and play well. This really is the dumbest holdout in NFL history. Le'Veon Bell wasn't being fined. He was on the franchise tag. He never signed the tag. He knew that he would be a free agent if he just sat out the year. It was stupid in hindsight, but at least you understood it more than this. This is just dumb by Reddick. If he doesn't play at all, the Jets retain his rights, his contract tolls. If he eventually shows up for the 6 games he apparently needs to be on the roster to accrue a year of service and then become a free agent, who's then paying him a big money contract if the guy only plays in 6 games all year? How's his production at age 30 if he only plays in 6 games? Is he going to have 6 sacks in 6 games? Probably not. So then who's giving him more money than what he's making now if he either doesn't play at all this year or plays only 6 games and is okay, not great? Then what? And at that point, if he's only coming in at the very end, depending on where the Jets are at that point, I might not play him at all. I might just say go screw it at this point. But the whole way this has been handled by the Reddick camp, it's been poor. And it almost sounds like now his agents are like, we're tired of getting lumped in with the decision-making here. We know we should be in camp. And we want it known that Haason Reddick is operating on his own with these decisions. That's what it sounds like. So when does this guy report? I mean, if the Jets win on Monday, he should be there Tuesday morning because he loses any leverage he still has. And I don't think he has leverage even if the Jets lose. I'll say it. The only leverage that Haason Reddick could potentially gain is if there is a significant injury to one of the Jet star defensive linemen. But that's it. I mean, this is just a bad job by a player not understanding that even though you're upset and you're annoyed and you feel like you're underpaid, not showing up already costing yourself $5 million as dumb as of a decision as you can make, because that's what this is. Crazy. And now, you know what I want to see on Monday? Because I'm spiteful. I want to see Will McDonald have multiple sacks in this game. That's what I want to see. But look, Haason Reddick, oh, he's not there. Big distraction. It's really not. He's never been there. This is not Revis. This is not Fitz. No one on the Jets knows Haason Reddick. It's basically like he's never been there the whole time. I don't think the Jets are walking around going, man, I can't believe he's not here. I don't think they care. The players and coaches are just focused on the guys who are there. This is not a huge distraction inside the locker room. It'd be different if he had played for the team before, if he had built up equity with the team. Like, it was a distraction in 2010 if Revis didn't play. That would have been a big deal. Because the Jet players then know what life was like with Darrelle Revis. No one knows what life is like with Haason Reddick. They've never met him. He was at the Jet facility for 6 hours. Probably not even. On April 1st, he showed up, took his physical, got the tour of the building, did a Zoom press conference, and then went home. We haven't seen him since. So at this point, well, Reddick would make this team a lot better. With or without him, the expectations for the Jets, they still should remain high. But if you believe any bit of what Michael Lombardi was saying, that people in the Reddick camp have expressed to him that they're trying to get through to Haason to show up because they don't get it. It just tells you that Haason Reddick is making some poor decisions. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Hit the like button if you're tuning in right now. Today's Jake Asman show is presented by the Jake Asman Patreon. Folks, if you want bonus content, access to the Discord channel, your name in the intro, and many other perks like 15% off every item in the jakeasman.com merch store, go to patreon.com/Jake Asman show. For those of you Jet fans who are headed across the pond for Jets Vikings in the UK, I posted info about our London party the night before the game, which is basically a month from now. So if you're going to London, make sure you check out the Discord. We'll have more info on that in the days to come. I have info also about a tailgate before the game on Sunday, located 7 minutes from the Tottenham Stadium where the Jets are playing. So London info starting to come through the pipeline. Patreon.com/Jake Asman show. Join and be a part of our growing community. Huge shout out to Allison Tuckwab, Ruben, Wing, Chun, Willie Nieves for being our 3 most recent Patreon subscribers. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. We started off with Eric, who says, Reddick wants the Jets to lose week 1, so fans cry to Woody. Woody will listen to fans. Don't cave for this mercenary for insane money. I don't think Woody's caving here. I don't. I think the way Joe Douglas has operated with this thing tells me you have an owner who's on board with the philosophy that the Jets have deployed here. That's the bottom line. If you're one of the 509 people watching, make sure you click the like button. And more importantly, you see that subscribe button on the right? Smash that button. Drew says, could you explain why you never believed Lombardi's report from the beginning? I bought it hook, line, and sinker. Because Michael Lombardi has reported things that turn out to not be true a lot. And I don't have like everything in front of me that he has a history of saying, but he's not Adam Schefter. He's not Ian Rappaport. He's not an insider. He says a lot of things that a lot of times you can't verify, or he says it after the fact that he knew about something. You know, he said for months, everyone knew in the NFL community that Bryce Huff was signing with the Eagles. Did you hear that from anyone? If everyone knew, how come it was never reported until it actually happened? So, yeah, just take it with a grain of salt. Steve says, stop blaming Reddick. Joe Douglas traded for this problem. He hasn't called him since April. Douglas is responsible for where we are at in terms of trading for a guy that is now holding out. But let's not act like Haason Reddick probably didn't renege on an agreement to show up. That said, I didn't want Haason Reddick. I wanted them to just pay Bryce Huff, or when they had Jadeveon Clowney in their building, just get the deal done with Clowney. But I am absolutely going to blame Reddick because his own agents are calling him a moron. I'm going to blame Reddick. What is the win? He's cost himself $5 million already. He has dug himself a hole that is so stupid for no reason. He wants to be paid money. Who's giving him money if he doesn't go out there and ball? If he goes out there and plays great this year, teams need pass rushers every year. Someone would pay him. Ridiculous. Jet Life says, did y'all watch Huff have no impact last night? Here's what I saw. I saw Bryce Huff on the field in week 1. Can we say that about Reddick? All right. And the Eagles won the game. And by the way, I hope Jordan Love's okay, because unlike some of these asshole Packer fans last year who were celebrating the Aaron Rodgers injury, I'm not rooting for Jordan Love to have a torn ACL and be out for the year. I hope he's okay. I look forward to him being the Jet quarterback in 2038. I mean, crazy. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Let's open up the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline right now. All calls presented by Gusbuster Umbrella. Use promo code Jake at gusbuster.com. Get a discount, and make sure you note this: free shipping on orders over $99.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to this republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, B-Man.
Hey, Jake, what's up?
You tell me.
Man, it's just ridiculous with Reddick. I mean, let's be honest. We all saw it coming to this point.
I thought he would show up by now. I didn't think he'd be this stupid.
You know what they say? That there's a thing about common sense. It's not that common.
They do say that.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's ridiculous, and you're right about it. Like, we lose to the Niners. It's a non-conference team, and then you look at the next stretch of games, it's against a bunch of pansies. So in reality, like, if the Jets lose one, okay, it's not that bad. And then because you got that soft schedule up until the Bills, and you'll probably be what 4-1 going into that Bills game if my memory on the schedule is correct.
I think they should be 4-1 going into the Bills game.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, so you're not winning anything. You're not winning anything by doing this. And let's be real. I think the Jets have a fair shot of winning this game. So they do. So that if they're going into that, so they're going on a winning streak, you're going to look even worse. If they win this game, you're going to look even worse because like, we don't need it. Just like he's just being just totally a clown here. And I do think, like, and the question is, when is he going to wake up and realize, oh shit, I made a dumb decision, and crawl back to Florham Park? That's the question.
That is the question. Do we have the answer?
I want to see what your answer is. So,
I mean, I thought he would show up by now, V-Man. I am shocked how stupid he is, to be honest.
So, all right, I'm going to put this in here. Let's say the Jets manage to pull out a win on Monday night, avoid any serious injuries and such. You think he crawls back?
I don't know. I'm done guessing on this. I've been wrong every step of the way. I underestimated the stupidity of Haason Reddick. I can't even say Hassan's camp. His camp is now leaking it out that they think he's an idiot.
Yeah. Man, this is I gotta say, I will say this, as bad as it was for Douglas to make this trade in the situation, at least we're not the ones looking like idiots here.
Well, they still don't have him. That's the problem.
That is the problem.
And they don't have Bryce Huff, and they don't have John Franklin Myers. So
you gotta
at the end of the day, I think the Jets are right to stand their ground and take the approach they're taking. I still think it is fair to criticize this general manager for how we got to this point. And, we'll see. If Will McDonald ends up being a really good player, then you know what? All right, the Jets could survive it. They took a calculated risk with Reddick, thinking they'll have him for a year, get a comp pick when he leaves. Didn't work out, but at least they have Will McDonald, who they drafted to be the Huff replacement essentially a year ago. That's what it comes down to. How does Will McDonald look? Is Jermaine Johnson going to continue to get better in his third year? That's what we have to see.
I agree completely. It's all about those guys panning out. And if those guys pan out, then it's like you're going to cut slack because you're gonna, like you said, it's a gamble. And sometimes, sometimes you roll snake eyes. Nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing today?
Just doing some house chores, nothing big.
Nice. We in the kitchen working hard right now?
Yes.
A little cleaning action?
Yep.
Okay. Show us your wiping form. All right. Give us a little elbow grease.
Oh my God. You want to look at the glass and read the message?
That's the end of that V-Man call. Now he can go back to sleeping.
Yeah, what a call from B-Man. Ladies and gentlemen, the memberships were going to flow on a Saturday show. Felix Campos getting us rolling here with what he does best, a 10 spot of channel membership.
Felix Campos, he wonderful, wonderful guy. He gives a lot of gift memberships and loves the Jake Asman show.
Take the money.
Sharon McLean, Douglas Welsh, Call It Out, Ripple, Black Fry, Joe the Jet, M.M. Morris, Nando, J.C. Medina, Will Collins. You guys are all officially Asmaniacs. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I checked before. We had some memberships expire. If we get another 16 channel memberships, the Andrew Fialco Edgemo will go into effect. So we are loading up ahead of the season here. Can't wait. Thank you to Felix for getting us going with the 10 spot. Chris K with a $10 super chat. Shout out to whoever gifted me a sub. Tried to pay it forward, but not sure how to gift subs for my iPhone, so I'll just drop this. JETS, 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 Jets. Chris, thank you, sir. It's annoying. YouTube doesn't apparently let you gift subs from the iPhone. Got to do it from a desktop. La Greatness with a super chat. Jake, would you rather have a $5 meal from McDonald's or those mini helmets that were signed by Haason? I'll tell you what. I'm hungry right now, so give me the $5 meal from McDonald's, all right? All your super chats are going to the bacon, egg, and cheese I'll be ordering right after this program. JJ writes in, I told you JJ Reddick isn't playing for us ever. Oh, you told us, all right. He's got a big job, man. He doesn't need the Jets. All right? We don't need JJ Reddick. Let him coach the Lakers. All right, let him deal with LeBron and AD, Genie Bus. Let him deal with that. More calls right now. We say hello to Purple Belt Mike on this fine Saturday. Hello, PBM.
Let's go, baby. Screw Haason Reddick. F him. If he's that privileged to give up $5 million and risk the $15 million and whatever, good for you. Get rid of you. We're moving on. Maybe we'll trade for Clowney. Or maybe we won't even need him. Who cares? But at this point, F you, Reddick. All I got to say to you, Jets, 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 let's go!
Ladies and gentlemen, Purple Belt Mike. James says, why did they keep Schweitzer? So let's talk about this. Wes Schweitzer's hand injury is apparently serious to the point where he has to go on injured reserve and miss the first 4 games. Now, I'm sure Cole Laveo might be the guy they call up because he can play center. But if I'm the Jets, Connor McGovern is still out there. Bring him in. That's what I would do. Bring him in to be the backup center behind Tippmann. I don't know why they haven't. Now, as far as the defensive line rotation for this game on Monday, here's what I would expect. The edge rushers will be Jermaine, Clemens, McDonald for sure. I think McKinley plays a lot more than maybe some realize. And I bet you McGregor's active as well. And then they'll probably have to go with 4 defensive tackles with no Fotu. So it'll be Quinnen and Kinlaw for sure, Solomon Thomas, and I bet you Leonard Taylor gets some reps too. I think the Jets will probably have they'll probably have 9 defensive linemen active, if I had to guess. Definitely 8. Maybe they don't go McGregor and they go with 1 less edge. But that's the defensive line rotation for Monday. You know who I want to see have a big game? Javon Kinlaw. What a statement that would make against his old team. What a statement. If you're just tuning in, hit the like button. We're talking about Robert Saleh saying it's fair to say Haason Reddick will not play on Monday Night Football. It's fair to say that Haason Reddick might be a bit of a moron. I don't know how else to say it. This guy is already thrown out $5 million, and now we're talking about almost $800,000 a week in game checks. Crazy. More calls. We say hello to the Cheese Man, who's next. Hello, Cheese Man.
How are you doing?
I'm good, Cheese Man. How are you?
I'm doing well. First time caller, long time listener. Been a fan of the channel for a while. Love what you do. So you make great content. But is my audio sounding okay? I don't have headphones in, so I hope it's not echoing.
Cheese Man, you sound great. Honestly, most of our callers are better without headphones because they don't know how to use the headphones.
Okay, perfect. Well, you know, when it comes to the whole Reddick thing, man, it's just like we can sit here and harp on Joe Douglas all we want for making a trade without a deal in place. But if there's anything that I have faith in with this coaching staff, it's developing defensive talent. So some of these undrafted free agents that we have, I'm just rooting for them so hard this weekend, just hoping that they really just blow up and make Reddick look like an even bigger idiot than he already is. But with all that being said, just super excited for the season to finally start. You know, let's just hope that we all stay healthy, and going to start calling in a little bit more and join you Asmaniacs here on the line. So appreciate you, and I'll go ahead and get off air now.
Cheese Man, great call. Call back more. I don't get Reddick's thinking. His agents now seemingly don't either. Now you just hope, given the Jets' history of developing talent, they did it again with some of the guys that are already here. Will McDonald being the biggest key to all this. If he's good, you're fine without Reddick. If he goes out there and looks like Jermaine from year 1 to year 2, you're okay. Are you better with Haason Reddick? No doubt, but he's not here, so it is what it is. John Q watching on Twitter. He says, let's effing go Jets. The hope is renewed once again. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Dorino with a super chat. All super chats going to the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Fund. Thank you, Dorino. Have any major to say? Just sending love, bro. I'm excited about the season starting. Well, thank you. In honor of the season starting, we now have a Jet flag to wave, baby. Let's go. Open phone lines for those of you who want in on the conversation. 646 of you are watching live right now. Shout out to all of you. Hopefully, a bunch of you are coming out the T-Squared Social this Monday night for the greatest Jets watch party since January of 1969. We will see you there. Make sure, if you haven't already, you check out the Jake Asman merch store. We added a bunch of new items yesterday. It's Edgemo week on the show. All your favorite channel member emojis are printed on t-shirts at jakeasman.com/shop. Thank you to everyone who has purchased a t-shirt. We certainly appreciate the support. More calls now as we continue here on a Saturday. We say hello to someone I'd imagine is a bit stressed out today as he awaits news on Jordan Love.
B-Mac.
Look at my TV.
B-Mac.
I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets. Go Jets.
Hey, Jake. Good morning to you.
Good morning, B-Mac.
You know, I'm holding my breath for the Jordan Love injury update. Hopefully, it's not this serious. It's a MCL or something like that. But I do want to call it to say that I'm taking a break from Boy Paul Green's show, and I had a incident there this morning with somebody. I got into it with somebody, and a lot of people wasn't really, a lot of people was upset with me, including Johnny and Uncle T.
B-Mac, hold on. B-Mac, hold on. Here's your audio sounds horrific. Can you go? I'm gonna drop your call. Call back without the headphones. We need to once and for all figure out why your sound is terrible, because I want to hear about this beef. You got into beef on the Boy Green show. All right, that's quite the cliffhanger. Call us back. We'll get into it. We need the answers to what happened here, because this sounds wild. Felix Campos with a super chat. Let's go, Felix. Appreciate you. I believe Kinlaw will have a big game. I also believe Taylor will have a pretty big role. I just have a gut feeling our D-line will eat all game. If they play great without Reddick, it's quite the statement to Reddick and the rest of the league. Because I still do maintain the Reddick story is bigger amongst fans, media, and those who cover the league nationally than it actually is for the players and coaches that are on the team. It'd be different if he had been there. Like Jamar Chase's status for this game tomorrow, that's a big deal. It's different with Reddick. He's never played for the Jets. He's never practiced with the Jets. He's never been in the weight room and worked out with the Jets. Completely different. Ken from San Diego is on the line. What's up, Ken? We usually only hear from you on post-game shows.
Yeah, usually you do, but I'm getting ready to go up to San Francisco to watch the game with my boys this Monday. So maybe you'll get a call from me from the parking lot. Hopefully that will be a good winning conversation. A couple of comments on Reddick. I mean, I think we all know that it wasn't perfect the way JD handled it, but I'm pretty sure what everybody says was there was an agreement in hand, and what he's doing now is just unfortunate. But we can't blame JD 100% on this one. I think he has some blame, but not a lot. And then also, I don't know, I'm sure you watched the game last night. Listen, Huff is a great player when he has Quentin Williams in the middle of the line, and he has someone else on the other end who can go after the passer. He was pretty average yesterday. I mean, I know the turf wasn't great, but he didn't look like a star to me. And so I think McDonald may have a couple of sacks, on Monday, and we'll all be talking a different story. And then lastly, I'm not one of those Jet fans who hates when one of our players goes somewhere else. I kind of was happy to see Becton. I mean, I wish he worked out for us, but he played a pretty reasonably good game. And I was happy to see him. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, it didn't work out for us, but you wish our players the best.
Yeah, Becton, I thought, was decent last night. You didn't hear his name called a ton, which is usually a good sign. We know Barkley had a really good game running the ball. So, good for Mackay. Huff really didn't have his presence felt at all last night. And, it's one game, so we'll see. The field conditions were terrible. But, I still will say this. Bryce Huff's out there week one. Haason Reddick's not going to be. So, that's still a potential issue if this Jets defensive line doesn't have a big game on Monday.
100% agree. I just don't know what you can do, Jake, when a player and his agent say, we're going to go ahead and come in and you're going to restructure a deal for us at least for a year and give us lots of incentives. And then you go back against it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you can really blame JD. Should have he had it done? Yes. Is this the National Football League where people can do whatever they want? Yes. I mean, it's a stupid holdout. He's never going to make that $5 million back.
100%. And, Ken, great call. Enjoy the game. Give us a call after a win on Monday night. All right. I love that. Say travels up to San Fran. What's so frustrating is just it got to a point where clearly the Reddick camp was tired of being blamed. So they're putting it out there. Hey, it's not us. It's really just Haason. It really is the dumbest holdout we've seen in a while, if you think about it. You have a guy on the last year of a contract he signed who has been a really, really good player. He wants more money. Okay, well, the Jets aren't going to rip up your current deal and give you a multi-year deal. The Jets, I've been told, would be willing to just give him $21 million for the year and call it a day, right? They're willing to play ball with him on a 1-year renegotiation. Guarantee it for injury. Probably give them their word they're not going to franchise tag him. Which, given the Jets cap situation for next year, I don't think they would anyway. So Reddick would be in a spot where he would make more money than he currently was scheduled to make. He'd be playing in a defense where he'd get to play next to Quinnen Williams. He would never be double teamed all year. He'd go out there. He'd have at least 11 or more sacks, probably closer to 15 than 10. And then someone would pay him. If it's not the Jets, who I don't think would completely rule out paying him if he had a great year. That's what's so stupid. This is a guy that would be paid by, if not the Jets, then by someone, if he just went out there and balled out for one more year. So the Jets have all the leverage here. And people could say, well, if they lose Monday, it changes. No, it doesn't. The only way it changes is if Quinnen Williams or Jermaine Johnson suffer significant injuries. That's it. That's the only way it changes. The Jets losing to a non-conference team on the road when they're a 4.5-point underdog is not changing things. You know, if they start 0-2, then yeah, maybe there's some leverage being adjusted. But even then, like, if you can't beat the Titans without Haason Reddick, how good is this team anyway? So I think he has been given bad advice by those close to him, or he's just really dug in, stubborn, and even his own agents are now saying, hey, it's not us. We're going to tell Mike Lombardi we want him there. Once again, for those just tuning in late, here's a guy who's a former NFL GM, guy who hates the Jets, by the way. So for him to even put this out there and basically make the Jets look better in all this, that's why it's surprising. But here's Michael Lombardi talking about his recent conversations with the Haason Reddick camp, a.k.a. his agents.
Well, I think the Haason Reddick, as I've called it, it's been one of the dumbest holdouts in the history of football since Le'Veon Bell's holdout, where he missed the entire season and just left $14 million out there, which some people in the media thought was a brilliant holdout. Le'Veon Bell admitted later that it was stupid on his part, which it was. This is even stupider because Reddick is a free agent at the end of the year. If he went into the Jets, collected his paycheck, got himself 12 sacks, 10 sacks, he's going to make a ton of money in the offseason. Everybody's looking for a pass rusher. So I'm told reliably by people inside the Reddick camp that he's due to come in sometime, maybe today or tomorrow. But I say that as a caveat because I think this whole holdout has been very frustrating to all the people involved in the Reddick camp because I think they realize how stupid of a holdout it is. And they've had a hard time convincing that he needs to do what he needs to do in terms of just going to camp. They're not going to do anything. You're going to be a free agent. So the Jets could be getting some relief here. I would suspect it happens later today. Could he play in the game on Monday night? No chance. No chance. But what he will be able to do is get a game check.
Well, he never showed up, so none of that's happening. So Lombardi was wrong about him showing up. That clip is from yesterday. He never showed up yesterday. Saleh said he's not there today. So he's missing his game check. But what you could take from that is Lombardi's clearly aware of people in the Haason Reddick camp, his agents, telling him, yeah, we think it's pretty stupid too. All you need to know. Kyle Clifton checks in. If we all agree Haason Reddick's making bad business choices and we would have traded the 26th third for 15 games of Reddick or 11 games of Haason Reddick or 9, then it's a good deal. I wouldn't have made that deal, though, Kyle. That's where we disagree. I would have just paid Bryce Huff or signed Jadeveon Clowney to a deal that exceeded what he got with Carolina. Clowney signed a 1-year deal for $12 million guaranteed, essentially. I know it's 2 years. It's really not. It's a 1 year for $12 million deal. So I would have beat that and had Clowney. But now that we're here, I mean, it is what it is. You're not trading Reddick, and you're not paying him big money because that makes you look like a fool as well. So you got to stand your ground. You have the leverage. Green Empire Lawn Care. Hassan's the new face of Stupid Town. La Greatness, losing $5 million and no new contract. Ouch. I mean, this guy cost himself $300K because he didn't show up to minicamp. He cost himself $250K by not just showing up and getting his workout bonus. So forget just the fines. If he just showed up to a couple of the stuff that was in his deal. At least he would have made that money. Ladies and gentlemen, we have drama in the Jet YouTube world. For more on this drama, we check back in with this guy.
B-Mac.
Look at my TV.
B-Mac.
I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets. Go Jets.
Hey, Jake, am I good now?
Just give us the break. Oh God, give us the breakdown on what happened, B-Mac. Why are you no longer going on the Boy Green show?
Yeah, well, I just got into it with someone over there, and he called me out and saying I'm a fake devil, and I got mad and I had him and made some personal remarks on him. And,
God, we can't hear you. Speak louder. Speak louder.
Yeah. Okay. He called me out and called me a fake or whatever, and then I went back and I clapped that right back and said that we made some personal remarks.
I can't make it a word he's saying. B-Mac, you have to find a way to get better internet. Anyone who saw the Boy Green show, please give us the recap on who B-Mac is beefing with. Good God. What did B-Mac do? Matthew says, B-Mac, turn the TV off. You can't stream too many things at once. That's a good point. Bill D, B-Mac, get off dial-up. Boba Jet says, tell him to restart his computer. B-Mac, restart your computer. Sham says, B-Mac should write his takes on paper. That's another option, B-Mac. You could write what happened in the chat in great detail, and I could read it. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey flexing the wallet. Holy hell, $99 to say Monday never comes. Shout out to you, Jeffrey. Wow. Appreciate the support, my man. That is what we like to call a big-time spend. Hello, this is Jeffrey here. I'm on the money phone. Thank you, Jeffrey. Monday never comes. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a while till we get the Monday night. It just is. That's why I wanted the Jets to open up at home again this year. So at least I could tailgate for hours beforehand. Now I got to wait till 8:15 on Monday. I'll be at T-Squared probably by 6 to start drinking and partying with asmaniacs. But you get the point. It's going to be a long wait, Jeffrey. Try and spin it into a positive, though. We get to watch Red Zone all day tomorrow. And if you guys want some more Jet talk, I'm hosting on ESPN New York from around 4 to 7. The Met game's on 880 ESPN New York. When the Mets end, I'm on afterwards. So the Met game, I think, is at 1:35 tomorrow. So I'm on right after the Mets game on ESPN New York, and I'll be on till 7, and we'll be doing a big Jet preview show. We'll react to Giants week 1. Everything else week 1. Can't wait. So Robbie Sabo will be among my guests tomorrow, by the way. So tune into ESPN New York. Download the ESPN New York app, and I will be on with you from around 4 to 7 tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls. And Bijan joins us right now. What's up, Bijan?
How you doing, Jake? How you doing? Yeah, let's go, baby. No, I appreciate you putting that video. That was fun doing that with my brother this weekend, Keon. So
you killed it, man. That is a great performance.
I appreciate it. He did a lot of the kind of the other. I forget. It's like a composer program where you put in some of those other voices. But yeah, that was fun. It was really fun. So I really appreciate that. This whole Haason Reddick thing. I don't know if he's trying to pull like a Chris Jones, like he's just like, hoping like week 1 is just like the pass rush is just not going to happen. And then maybe the Jets get desperate or something. But he has no leverage in this situation. And he's not he's not Chris Jones in the sense that Chris Jones was a longtime Chief. So like what you were saying, like there was built in, he's one of the guys. Haason Reddick is at this point, he's a mercenary. And, I saw something too. Didn't this morning the agent say something and then Jets Twitter like blasted him pretty much? Like he was trying to be contrary to what Michael Lombardi was saying. I don't know if you heard anything about that.
The only thing I saw after the report from Lombardi yesterday was Diana Rossini had the quote in her story that the latest from Reddick is that he's operating with the mindset that he will die on the sword.
Okay. Well, best of luck to him. I really don't understand. I think his agent was trying to like maybe save face, because maybe somebody in his camp, maybe his agent was like, I don't know what to do with this guy privately to Lombardi, but then maybe he's trying to save face to keep his client. I'm not sure. But like I know he was saying stuff this morning and then he blocked everybody. Like his Twitter is completely private now.
Oh, Tory Dandy, his agent. Okay.
Yeah, and all of the Jets fans you see, like, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with maybe some of the language that was used towards this guy, but it was like, yeah, dude, you're costing this guy millions, cost this guy millions.
I'm seeing this here from Rick Kent, who just wrote in with his asmaniacs super chat. Thank you, Rick. O'Leary reported that Tory Dandy, Reddick's agent, posted that Lombardi didn't speak with anyone in their camp. Well, once again, I'll say this. Michael Lombardi's wrong often. So that's why I took that all with a grain of salt. But this is a guy that hates the Jets, who's basically putting out a story that makes the Jets look good. So, you know what I mean? That's why it's like, if he's coming up and saying that, I think he spoke with someone. I guess the question is, there's a lot of people in the Jake Asman camp. There's not everyone that knows important personal details about me, like saying you spoke with someone in someone's camp is very loosely worded. Like if he said I spoke with an agent for Haason, that would have been more specific. He didn't say that.
I think Tory Dandy is trying to cover for whoever said that, is my guess. Because maybe Hassan's like, who's leaked this or whatever. I don't know. But it just seems silly. I do think the Jets, I don't know if you saw that there was like a Michael Carter contract details came out, and they did lower the contract from like 3.4 to 1.4 for this year. I think it's for this year. So that opens up another like $2 million.
Which player did you say, Bijan?
Sorry?
Which player did you say they redid the contract for? Restructured?
No, they came out with the details, I think, for Michael Carter's contract. And it was like per year. I don't know if it was specifically, they didn't say years. They didn't say like 24, 25, 26, but it said on the first year, it's 1.4 million now. If you look at the over the cap, it says it's 3.4. I'm not saying that 1.4 is 2024, but let's say it is. That opens up another $2 million. I think they're still like willing to give Reddick like, hey, let's give him a little bit of a bump, which honestly is just going to pay back all the fines he's incurring.
Exactly.
But whatever.
Yeah. I do think if he shows up, I do think they would give him some incentives and guarantee the contract for injury. They still would give him something. That's why they're trying to play nice in the media. Like Salehs talking about how we're going to welcome him with open arms. When Douglas spoke on the record about it, he's like, I have much respect for Haason and his like they're trying to basically just play nice, get him to eventually cool off, show up, and hopefully play at a high level for them. But if Haason Reddick wants to be stupid, there's no cure for stupid, unfortunately.
Yeah, it seems like it's turning into potentially the Chris Jones thing where, like last year, Chris Jones, where they just give him a 1-year deal to satisfy him for that year. Or maybe they come to a compromise. I know a lot of the pass rushers like Danielle Hunter and all these other guys got like 2-year deals. So I don't know if you want to risk that at this point with this kind of guy, because he just seems to be kind of a diva. I mean, there's a reason he's been on all these different teams in the last 4 or 5 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's something to that. I just hope my guess is either he's probably going to show up after week 1, obviously, or he might just try to do the whole like come in week 11 and then fake an injury. He might try to pull that. I don't know. He seems like that kind of guy based on everything we've seen so far.
Maybe. I mean, Bijan, he's been pretty stupid. There's no doubt. Great job by you, though, with the Monday night theme. We will play that a lot on the show. We've been playing it a lot. I can't wait. We have some housekeeping to attend to here before we try and get into this BMAC drama situation. Dave Briga is nice enough to call in, so we're going to him in just a moment. I want to give a shout out here to Felix, who gives us his $10 super chat. Thank you, my friend. He says, Jake, I also received my glass cup yesterday. I was super busy and missed your live. Can't thank you enough, bro. Definitely appreciate you. Felix, you're the man. We appreciate all the support, all the membership gifts you've dropped for the listeners. Thank you so much, my man. Glad you like it. Le Greatness checks in. Seems unreal we have waited 2 summers for this moment. 2 more days. God bless you, Jake, for making the time seem not too bad. Going to San Fran. JETS. Let's go. Way to rep, Le Greatness. We waited a long time to watch Aaron Rodgers play a full game, man. There's no other way around it. I first started talking about the Jets going after Rodgers the night of that Jaguar debacle in 2022. Everything we went through, speculating, is he going to be a Jet? Then he says he wants to play for the Jets. Another month of, can they get the deal done? Everything last summer, Hard Knocks, all the hype, 4 plays, the nightmare we went through all last year, all offseason waiting for this year. And we're just 2 days away, people. There's no doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to expose someone in this chat who appears to be almost as big of a moron as perhaps Haason Reddick. Stay Zooted writes in. After this Haason Reddick situation, his name is Reddick, ya bozo. I don't believe any NFL player that is good or great would want to play for the Jet organization. Last I checked, Mike Williams came here. Last I checked, Tyron Smith came here. Last I checked, the Jets have been able to extend some of their great young talent the last 2 years, like Quinnen Williams, like Michael Carter. Sauce Gardner put out a tweet this offseason saying he wants to be a Jet for life. Stay Zooted. You, my friend, are a moron. Here's what we do with morons around here. Enjoy the hole. Now look what you've done. No more protection from the asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it. Farewell, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to get my umbrella. Felix Campos, are you kidding me? A 20 spot of channel memberships? That's a lot of bacon, egg, and cheeses, Felix. Thank you, man. Here we go, baby. Felix Campos dropping a 20 spot.
Felix Campos, a wonderful, wonderful guy. He gives a lot of gift memberships and loves the Jake Asman Show.
Take the money.
It is raining. Channel membership. Here we go. Grab your Ghostbusters. Woo! 20 names to read off. Sean Evans, Javier Santos, Tris Nick, Luke Spalletta, Swampnil G. Patel, Rock and Rant, Josh Frischman, Ray Perez, Sharif Inani. But wait, there is more. Chico Andretti, Daniel Nieves, Kylie Medina, Atlanta Jet fan, Joel, Jet Up 22, Vince Milton, Juan Suarez. But wait, there is more. Monkey Man Stan, Jay Brown. Oh, wow. As I'm reading Felix, look what we have here. Mike D's Nuts just dropped a 5 spot of channel membership. So hold on. When Mike D's Nuts drops nuts for the people, we are required to play this.
Hey, thank you, Mike D's Nuts, for another gifted membership.
Here we go from Mike D's Nuts, Frank Whitmire, Alan S. Gerasta, Hold the Onions, Ivo De Nicholas, Frank Whitmire. You guys are all officially as maniacs. Hit the Mike D's Nuts emoji. Shout out to Mike for the 5. Shout out to Felix for coming through. He gifted 20 with this drop, 10 before. That's 30 in one show from Felix Campos. I mean, just an incredible humanitarian. There's no other way around it. What a moment in time. A moment we will not forget. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how it's done. All right. Let's get into the calls right now. Now, there's some drama. Apparently, BMAC, during the Boy Green program today, got into it with one of our hardcore Jet fan listeners, a guy named Dave Briga. And Dave is nice enough to call in and give us the backstory. Dave, what happened?
Oh, good morning, Jake. Good morning, all our loyal Jet fans. Well, he was exposed for the total fraud that he is. Called our team nothing but trash. Past, present, and future, probably, most likely. I don't know. I don't like to get into personal things with people, but this guy just dominates our airwaves, monopolizing things, and he's not a Jets fan. He was gifted that.
Dave, do me a favor. Call back in, because your internet maybe was infected by BMAC. I don't know what happened there. Now, based on what Dave's saying, why would BMAC call the Jets trash? He claims to be a Jet fan, a supporter of the Jets, if you will. Does anyone have internet that calls the show, by the way? It's 2024. It's not 2004 trying to do an internet show. BMAC, call back in. Dave, call back in. Hopefully, whichever one of you has better internet to tell the story, that's whose side I'm going to take. So do whatever you got to do to get the best internet possible, and you'll have my support. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Clifton is next. He has working internet, I think.
I think so. I hope so.
Oh, you look great. I mean, that living room you're in is tremendous.
Well, thank you. Listen, I disagree with you on your take with Huff over, and we talked about some of the other reasons why, and I'm not going to get into whether he preferred the Eagles over the Jets, but I will say that the deal that the Eagles did had a third and a fourth voidable years with a lot of that money pushed out that Joe Douglas probably could not have done because of his situation, right? Because he's kind of hamstrung. He's kind of a lame duck, right? If we think that the player who is absent is a minimum low 20s per year player, and we could get him at 14, maybe if we sweeten it 15, 16 million for 1 year for a third round 26 pick, and we think that he's a better player, why wouldn't you do that? I mean, I think that he took a calculated risk, and the one thing that he couldn't calculate is how stubborn and obstinate that the player is being and how hurtful he is to being to his own career. That's my take on it.
Well, maybe they shouldn't have traded JFM for nothing until they had a redone deal with Reddick. Isn't that a fair criticism?
That's a fair criticism. That's a fair criticism. I mean, especially if JFM would have been willing to do a friendly restructure like he did with the Broncos.
Yeah, he really didn't get that much money. So clearly the Jets were like, yeah, we're pretty confident Reddick will show up. We'll get something done. And it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't be that confident until you actually have, a pen to paper agreement.
But the real test is going to be when, the player is sitting there watching us play at the highest level against one of the best teams in the NFL, and he's not out there, and it looks like maybe he can impact the game. How does he feel Tuesday, Wednesday, and next week? And he's looking at the possibility of missing another game check. So We're going to find out a little bit about what the player is made of this week.
Kyle, excellent call out of you. Thank you for having good internet. It's a big week for the Jets because if they could win without him, there's any semblance of leverage that the Reddick camp has. All right, we're going to continue here. A super chat from Cincy Matt is up next. Was it BMAC that called in or was it CMAC? It can make all the difference. Yeah, look, I don't know. I'm going to try and get to the bottom of this story, though. And, to do that, We got to hear from the parties that are involved. Ladies and gentlemen, we check back in now with Dave and see if his internet works. Dave, hello.
I hope I don't have Ricky Wi-Fi this morning or this afternoon. Could you hear me?
We hear you for right now, Dave. Explain
Everything
what
good?
happened.
All right. I just don't. BMAC has been calling all types of Jet content with his, takes, which are half baked most of the time. Anyway, if you review the replay, if you replay Boy Green's AM show this morning, you'll see how he trashed our team. He's just, I don't know. He's beyond help, this guy. He just monopolizes our Jet content. And he actually came out and just called us for, what he thinks, what he actually thinks. He's a fraud. He's a fraud. Plain and simple. He's a fraud. I have nothing personal, but he's just out of control. He's just out of control.
What
I don't know. You guys put him on. You guys put him on.
What was the reasoning?
Oh, just because I call him out for his, because I just don't think he's real. He always has his Yankees hat on. He's always he's on Boy Green show for 20 minutes sometimes. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He just, he's not a Jets fan, plain and simple. And he just has no respect for our fan base. I don't think anyway. That's just my take. Listen, I've been a fan for how long, since 1965. Oh, plus he called all our older fans, dried up and we're old, we're decrepit, that type of stuff. Phil gave it to him in Boy Green show today. Phil, whatever, Phil's an older guy too. Hey, he calls me, he's very disrespectful, BMAC. Just put it that way.
All right.
You talk to him every day. He's on our content every single day, with nonsense on Boy Green, 20 minutes at a time, monopolizing. Those are basically your show, Boy Green's. I check in with Nick. Bobby's Zoom room is too much for me to handle. He has too many people on there. I can't deal with that stuff. It's too much. That's it. It's ridiculous. I'm sort of old school, so you have to put up with some of the stuff that I put up with, that I come from. But anyway.
Well, Dave, let me ask you this.
Sir.
If you're upset that he's monopolizing the time on the Boy Green show for 20 minutes, wouldn't that be more on Boy Green? I don't put BMAC or any caller on for 20 minutes.
Oh no, I'm not saying I explained it with Paul there. There's nothing with you, but I just think we put him on. His only take is that Aaron Rodgers. And today he really came out. I want our fans to review this morning's video and see how he called our team trash. Okay? So take the Jets off, BMAC. Take that Jets cap off. Put your if he wants to come on, tell him to put his Packers cap on. Jake, I've never seen his Packers cap. Have you? Have you seen it? I've never seen it.
I think I've seen it before. I have.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you have. I don't. I'm incapable of watching every show because I work. And by the way, BMAX tried to call me out that with other stuff. I'm retired. I work a produce job on the floor 3 days a week. Okay, 8 hours a day. I played hockey until I was 40. If he wants to take me on, meet me in Miami. I'll be there, buddy. I'll be in that room with Richie's round table with the Dolphins fans. I'm ready to go. You got it? So if you want to put him on, put him on. He's a wise guy.
Look at my TV.
BMAC.
I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets. Go Jets.
There he is. Ricky. There he is. Get that hat off. Get that hat off, you fraud. Get that hat off, fraud. Get it off, fraud.
You taking my words out of context. I never called the Jets trash. You called me out and disrespected me and called me fake. And I came to you and I told you that you need to sit your old down.
Call me old. Hey.
Down and stop coming and attacking me.
I can say things about you, my friend. You're a bum. That's all I'm going to say.
I have the nerve to support the Jets. You should be glad I'm supporting
Put your Packers hat on. Get it off. Get the hat off, you bum.
Get the pack. There you go. Well, take it off. Put that hat on. Take that hat off. Take that shit off.
You should be happy that I'm supporting.
Come on down to Miami, big mouth.
You disrespected me, Dave.
Come on down.
You disrespected me for.
You have no respect. You're a bum.
You, right?
That's Phil. You're a bum.
Jet fans were garbage.
Get lost. Get off the media. You're a bum.
I never said the Jets were
You're a
trash.
bum.
I never said the
You're
Jets
a trash talker. Mr. Packer. Mr. Packer. Hey, Mr. Packer. Your boy got hurt last night, huh?
I wasn't bad when I did Jet. Why when Rodgers got hurt on the fourth play, why did I come on this show every day? If Rodgers got hurt,
Mr. Packer, hey, there he is. In the flesh, there he is. Mr. Packer, hey.
He was going for the whole season. I still came on this show.
Fraud, you. Take that hat off. Take it all off. Put that Packer hat on.
Fan that you ever will be, Dave. I'm
trim that brim up. Get it up. Get that Jet hat off. You fraud. You fraud.
Fan. You're a fraud,
you
Dave.
Bum fraud.
You
bum.
Jets fan, Dave. And guess what?
Fraud. Number one fraud.
I am not sorry for what I said to you this morning.
Carlos tell you
Let's go.
All right. I thought maybe having a healthy discussion would. Would maybe, bring this fan base back together. That was too good. I can't even fake it. Oh, that was great. That was great. I hope B-Mac and Dave can work it out. I do need a drop of just Dave going, "You're a bum. You're a bum. You're a fraud. You're a fraud." Oh, that was great. It was like a battle of who had worse Wi-Fi, who could try and articulate their roasts. And I think Dave had slightly better Wi-Fi. Oh my God. That was tremendous. Quickly here. Rowan Marshall. He gifted a channel membership, and it went to listener Shirazan. So congratulations. Rowan says, paying it forward. Thanks, Felix. What a guy. The Reddick stubbornness is the only blemish on a good preseason. Brock Purdy's going to die. LFG. Mike D's Nuts says, wired Wi-Fi all day. Or just, I don't know, get an iPhone. Cheeseman. B-Mac should go and hang out with Allen. Strong. Addison says Pedro Martinez versus Don Zimmer, part 2. Altoona says that was shades of the Morton Downey Jr. show. Mike D's Nuts says Henny guzzle needed, Jake. Mike, 5 memberships and I'll guzzle some Henny just after noon here on a Saturday for you. Oh man, that was something. You know what? Dave's still on the line here. Let me check back in with Dave. Dave, he's gone. Maybe it's for the best. Let's let Dave cool off. B-Mac cool off. Let's go to someone that always has great takes that we never disagree with. We say hello to JJ. Hello, JJ.
I'm just glad that somebody else has finally seen the light. I've been saying this about B-Mac for about a year now, that he's a fraud. He's a fraud. He's a fake. He's not a Jets fan. He's a fraud. And it's starting to come out. And I'm just glad that the rest of the fan base on the Jake Asman show is starting to, agree with me. I keep trying to tell you guys I'm ahead of the curve. I can see the future. That's why I keep trying to tell you guys JJ Reddick ain't showing up. And I say it jokingly, but I know his name is Haason Reddick. But Haason Reddick will not play for the New York Jets this year. We need to trade him immediately, get whatever we can for him. He's not playing. He's not showing up. He's not showing up. I don't know why we are even doing this whole Haason Reddick watch. He's not showing up. Let's move on from that experience.
I still think he shows up, but I will say this: your anti B-Mac take is seemingly aging well based on what Dave is saying. Now, full disclosure, I was sleeping this morning during the Boy Green program, so I didn't get to see it or read what occurred. So I'm going to withhold judgment on the situation until I have a better understanding on what's happening.
Well, there's no withholding judgment. Look, just paint this picture for yourself. The man is a Packers fan, and he calls into every single Jets channel thing related to the Jets. I understand if he likes Aaron Rodgers, but you're a Packers fan. You live and die with your team. Listen, I loved Mark Sanchez when he was here. When he went to the Eagles, you think I was going to call a fucking excuse my language. Now, Mark Sanchez is nowhere near the level of Aaron Rodgers. But when Darrell Revis went,
so your point is Darrell Revis
went to Tampa Bay. He went to Tampa Bay first. Do you think I cared at all that he was on Tampa Bay? I wasn't happy when he got hurt, when he tore his ACL. But at the same time, do you think I didn't watch Tampa Bay games and start calling into Tampa Bay channels or Patriots channels when Darrell Revis left the team? I can go on and on with
how do I know that? I didn't know you then. You could have been calling Bucks daily all the time.
Yeah, okay. You don't know that, but I'm telling you right now, I didn't do it. And I'm going to tell you why I didn't do it. Because I'm loyal to the Jets. I'm not loyal to the players. Players come and go. My fandom for my team is always stays. So
I agree, but to be fair, it's a little different with a quarterback, right? Like Brady fans were all over the Bucks when he went down there and were rooting for him. Like I don't think
because the majority of Patriots fans were bandwagon Patriots fans when they started winning Super Bowl. Nobody was a Patriots fan until the Patriots started winning Super Bowl.
No, that's not true. That's
the Patriots were the laughing stock of the NFL.
They still had fans though, JJ. And my point is with Brady specifically, like when a guy wins you 6 Super Bowls, you're going to still root for him and support him. Aaron didn't win 6 in Green Bay, but he won 4 MVPs. He won a Super Bowl. He's not the only Packer fan that started watching the show. You know, what do you make of Jerome the Packer fan, for example?
You're probably gonna hang up on me. I don't know who Jerome the Packer fan is. I've never seen the guy. I don't know.
That is just not true. There's no way you watch the show and you don't know who Jerome the Packer fan is. All your points are now invalid. They're void.
There's a guy. The first thing that comes to mind when you say Jerome's the Packers fan, there's a guy who sits on his couch all the time, and he talks about he had a neighbor who died. Is that Jerome the Packers fan?
Stop with this bit. You know that's Chiefs fan.
See, another fan of another team calling into. I don't get it, Jake. I don't get it. I don't know. I get it that you're trying to be international and you want as many fans as possible, but we gotta do something about this. We can't have all these.
There's nothing wrong with someone who is a Packer fan who chooses the Jets as like their AFC team as long as Rodgers is there. I don't think there's anything wrong with what BMAC is doing, calling into a show that's a Jet show as an Aaron Rodgers fan. You know, he tries to be supportive and root for the Jets, but he's not doing anything wrong by calling in.
Does something wrong.
He's wrong if he bashed the Jets. If the allegations Dave is saying are true, then we have to look into this because then he's bashing the fan base. He's calling out the team. That'd be different. But the idea of a fan of a different team that's not a Jet fan calling into the show, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I agree with you. I mean, people could be other fans and call on the show, but when you try to critique the fan base, right? That's the problem that I have with some of these guys who aren't Jets fans who call into the show and then they try to critique us as fans. Like, you can't tell me I'm not a Jets fan and you're not even. Anyways, I digress. Let's talk about something more, more fun. Haason Reddick isn't showing up. I'm sorry to tell everyone he's not showing up. I hope I'm wrong, but I haven't been wrong since. I told you guys Zach Wilson sucked. I told you guys Robert Saleh ain't it, so we're still waiting on that. I told you guys BMAC is a fraud. So I'm on a streak here. I'm telling you guys Haason Reddick is not showing up. We need to trade him. I don't think we'll be able to. We got him for a 3rd round pick, if I'm not mistaken, right?
A 3rd round pick in 2026.
Yeah, so I mean, if we get a 4th round, next year, that would be cool. That might be setting my.
They're not getting anything for him. He has no trade value.
I think he has a trade value.
How does he have any trade value if the Jets got him for a 3rd round pick in 2026? Everyone knew he needed a new contract.
Because the reason he has no trade value is because he doesn't want to play on his contract. But if there's a team out there that's willing to pay him, then
there isn't. That's the whole point. If there was, he wouldn't be a Jet right now.
I think there might be a team out there.
And you know what? Who's the team? JJ, he's a Jet right now because no one wanted to pay him. That's why his value was so low. Anyone could have had him. He didn't get acquired until late March after the first wave of free agency already happened.
So what you got to do is what we all got to do is wait maybe week 4, week 5 as the season progresses, and then see teams that really are in need of a pass rush that are going to get desperate, who want to fix it now, and they'll probably be willing to see him as a short-term and long-term answer.
There's no team. There is no team unless there's an injury to a star pass rusher around the league. There is no team right now that needs Haason Reddick.
I just said, yeah, I agree with you. Right now, today, no. 4 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now,
maybe. But if you're Haason Reddick, that's what you're banking on. Like, you're costing yourself a crap ton of money every week now. You already cost yourself $5.7 million. Now it's about to be another $800K every week.
Yeah, but he does at this point. It seems like he doesn't care, and somebody's lying. Either the Jets are lying or Haason Reddick is lying. But somebody's lying about what was discussed before he got here. So somebody's lying, and somebody messed this up. We don't know who, but I'm a Jets fan, so I'm gonna ride with Joe Douglas. I don't think he's that great of a GM. I think he's slightly above average. I don't think he's this all-time great GM as you guys try to say he is. But we'll ride with it. We'll ride with Joe Douglas and say Joe Douglas told the truth and Haason Reddick lied, and let's get rid of him until we don't have to think about this anymore.
Tom A says, if YouTube existed in the 70s, there would definitely be some of us calling LA Rams shows talking about Joe Willie Namath.
Okay.
Take that one, JJ.
I wouldn't have. I'm not going to lie to you. I love Joe Namath. But if I was alive at that time, I'm not calling in to say, yeah, Joe, let's go get a Super Bowl with the LA Rams. No, I'm not doing that.
Rick Kent says this was a perfect opportunity for JJ to gain some goodwill here with his original BMAC take, but he blew it.
How? How did I blow it? You guys are. Let me tell you something. If any of you Jets fans in this chat start calling a different YouTube channel when, I don't know, let's say Aaron Rodgers leaves and goes to a different team next year. If you guys start calling that, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? We're Jets fans. We're Jets fans. We're Jets fans.
Let's go. All right, we all need to just calm down a little bit, all right? Tensions are high. All right, JJ, you make some points that aren't god-awful, but some of your other points are god-awful. So basically a standard JJ call there. Where I disagree with you is I do think Haason Reddick eventually shows. But I've been wrong every step of the way. I never realized how stupid he might be, so I guess all bets are off. Ladies and gentlemen, more importantly, we asked Mike D's Nuts to come through for the people. He wants me to swig some Henny. He just dropped a 5-spot of channel memberships. You know what that means.
Hey, thank you, Mike D's Nuts, for another gifted membership. Hey.
Jets football, baby. Let's go, Mike D's Nuts. Leany.
Is this Mike D's Nuts?
Yes, it is. Michael Caslin, Q, ADR, New Jet City, Ken Burgos. You are all channel members. Let's go. God, I wasn't ready for that. Woo, I'm rusty. Nate says, Jerome's worst call is better than any of JJ's. Damn. Jeffrey checks in with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Jeffrey. Someone is always lying. There's the saying, there's 3 sides to every story. In this case, it's the Jet side, the Reddick side, and then somewhere in the middle lies the truth. All we know is this. No matter how you feel about how the Jets have handled this Reddick thing, Reddick's handled it just as bad. Because by not showing up, he looks foolish and he's cost himself so much money. And here's the other thing. I was critical of the Jets with their stance. Oh, we won't negotiate with a player that's not here in the final year of their deal. And I said on the show, all right, if that's your stance, prove it. Go sign Michael Carter to an extension. And they did. So I'm not going to sit here and criticize the Jets' stance when they actually backed it up with actions. Reddick should show up. They would redo his deal. They'd give him something. Now he's just being stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike D's Nuts says, me paying to get drunk is crazy. Mike, you're one of the greats. Jayquest says, you fraud is the new he stinks. I cannot wait to get the audio of Dave just going in on BMAC and review the tape. I do need to find out what occurred this morning on the Boy Green Show. If you guys can help me out, everyone tweet Boy Green that he needs to call in right now. We need to get his perspective. Hennessy says, wasn't JJ on Allen's side? Now that's a fraud. No one's a bigger fraud than Allen, so I would agree. Nate says, Jake, that was the most wild fake chug of all time. Nate, go screw. There was nothing fake about that. My throat's on fire. More calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to our king, King Lowski. Hit the new King Lowski emoji. What's up, King?
Henny Jake, my brother. Henny Jake, my brother. Am I choppy? Can you hear me clear?
King, we hear you. You look tremendous. The bucket hat. You and Dave Brigger matching with the Asmaniac bucket hats today.
My brother Dave Brigger. Let me tell you something, man. JJ, we just found out today that you are not an avid watcher of that Jake Asman show. You just exposed you. You just mixed Chiefs fan with Dan, Dave on the my man's on the couch. Are you kidding me? What are we doing, JJ?
How did he not know Jerome the Packer fan? That's a bad
Jerome
job by
the
JJ.
Packer fan is an avid caller of this show, JJ. You just skipped through. You want to just hear Jake's spicy takes. You expose yourself, son. That's a shame. But Jake, I just called up to let you know that the king is always watching, and I'm always listening to all Jets content all across the YouTube. I'm here to give you the Paul Boy Green story. But before that, let me just say this, that I do subscribe to other channels, but it's only within the division they keep an eye on them bums to hear what they say. So of course, you know, I subscribe to TD, I subscribe to Dan Mitchell, but it's just to keep an eye on them bums. You feel what I'm saying? I don't subscribe to the Patriots fan because it's no point. For what? The hell with it. Anyway, so this morning, I guess B-Mac got into one of his soliloquies, man. And at the end of the day, he didn't say anything to really disrespect the Jets, but he did in a way. And I'm going to tell you what he said. He was really trying to get under Dave's skin in a way where older Jet fans just don't play about it. You feel what I'm saying? So what he said was, you really haven't seen much success. Your team hasn't really been good. And older Jet fans really don't take that too well, my guy. And you as a Packer fan, you know, it hits a certain way because you've seen success. You've seen your quarterback take you to the promised land time after time. So, you know, at the end of the day, I get where Dave Brigger is coming from, and I get where other Jet fans is coming from, my man's Paul. And I just want to say, man, don't come on Jets YouTube talking anything bad about the Jets. If you got a question about Aaron Rodgers, ask your question about Aaron Rodgers. Don't try to go after fans. And the C-Mac thing is cool. I laugh, even though it's cringy. Okay, but I laugh. But hey, man, don't come on here talking about the Jets with history and nah, man, we don't want to hear that. If you ain't talking about the here and now, my guy, we don't want to hear shit about that. You heard? So at the end of the day, I get where Dave Brigger's coming from. I get where the older Jet fans is coming from. We in the here and now, baby. Okay? Our team is primed and ready for a freaking Super Bowl. All right? And I stand on that. All right?
Ladies and gentlemen, King Lowski with the breakdown. And look, I think that's a fair breakdown. I'm going to have to go review the tape. You know what? I would just say this to BMAC. I think you're a good guy. All right. I think Dave Brigg is a good guy. I think both of you should call in and let's civilly discuss what occurred. Maybe some things were said that we didn't mean. We all say that when we're angry. And we can work through this. Because I like BMAC personally. I like Dave Brigg personally. I love Jet fans. You guys are the reason why I do what I do. So I want to get everyone on the same page here. The season is too important. Monday night is 2 days away. JJ the Jet Plane says, play the Aaron Rodgers bum audio for BMAC. You know, it does feel like a lot of people are anti-BMAC. And since I am, you know, basically a conduit to the Jet fan on this show, the only thing I can think to do right now is to run a poll, right? Let's run a poll. Are you pro or anti-BMAC? Even if you're anti what happened today, overall, the question is, are you a BMAC supporter overall? All right, because that's what it's about. One bad day for BMAC shouldn't ruin what he has built up in this fan base, should it? That's the question. Are you a BMAC supporter overall? All right, I'm making the poll. Let's find out how people are feeling. I do think, BMAC, you do need to call back in and defend yourself as well. And we put you on with Dave, and you guys got into it. Let's give you a solo opportunity with hopefully a functioning internet connection to discuss your perspective on everything. But the poll is now live. Let's get a feel from the audience. There's 566 of you watching. There's only 306 likes. Here's what you need to do. Stop what you're doing and give me those milk thumbs, as Green Bean would say. Click the thumbs up button, and then make sure you hit the subscribe button to the channel. Cheeseman says, long live King Lowski. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ is called back in with the request to respond to our king. JJ, go ahead.
So King Lowski is absolutely right. I don't watch the entirety of the show. Usually what I do is I watch the beginning to hear what you're talking about. Then I skim through. And as I skim through, if I see any interesting callers, like a Charles Gorman or this guy, stop. I have to watch. Lane Train calls in.
Hi, I'm Charles, and I'm going to talk about Spider-Man and movies like Beetlejuice. Oh, yeah, I'm Charles, and watch me, and I'll talk football sometimes.
Continue.
So Dre calls in. I got to stop and watch that. BMAC is, I'll stop and watch a BMAC because, you know, I have to hear what he has to say. There's some other guys, Neil. So the key players on the show, I'll stop and I'll watch. But I don't stop for everybody. King Lowski, I'll always stop for him. And then I watch like the last 10 minutes of the show because something usually weird always happens in the last 10 minutes of your show. But I don't sit and watch the entirety. And if it's somebody I don't know, I kind of skim through. I'm sorry if that's bad to do. You guys already don't like me, so whatever. I don't care. But yeah. So King Lowski, you're absolutely right. I'm not a Jake. I'm not an asmaniac. I'm just a guy who calls in on when he gets a chance, says his takes, get cursed out in the comments, reads the comments, gets a good laugh at it, and I go about my business. So yes, King Lowski.
Well, JJ, thank you for clarifying. I wish you watched more of the show, but it is a free country, and I will defend your right to make your own decisions. The chat, however, not the biggest JJ fan. Metro Funny says JJ not a Bobby fan. You don't stop for Bobby Midnight calls? Also, Bobby Midnight, where have you been, man? Call back in. You were on hold, then you leave. Every time I try to go to you, you're gone. R&R says JJ is such an arrogant ass. John says JJ the GOAT. I'll say this for JJ. You either love him or hate him. That's a good place to be. You know? You don't want someone to have no opinions on you. Yeah, he's all right. That doesn't bring in eyeballs. Jake says JJ is the man. Dave says, Jake, there's nothing to argue with BMAC. He has to change and claim his Packers fandom. We do need to hear from BMAC, though. I want his perspective on things. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. Eric is on the line. Hey, Eric. Eric, unmute your mic, please.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, dude, spicy show so far, Jake. How are you today?
It's been wild, Eric. Where are you calling us from? It's so dark.
It's Japan. I'm out right now. I have to go into work a little late, and then
You said wait, did you say Japan?
yeah, I called you guys last year after our Cowboys lost. Actually, yeah.
That's epic, man. Eric,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I love your show. It's definitely a very spicy call. Yeah, I don't like seeing our fans. I don't like to see them argue, especially when we're like 2 days from the game. I just want all that energy towards the 49ers. So it sucks that Haason Reddick is still holding out. I was actually really hoping he would show up this weekend, and damn, man, it's that serious that you're willing to lose out on potentially $800,000 a week just to get a contract. So I just hope our team, I have a lot of confidence that we're going to play really well. I think it's going to be a 17-14 win for the Jets. I think we're going to do really well. I think our defense is going to show up, and I hope that happens, and that cuts all the leverage that Haason Reddick tries to do, and he can get on the team and actually play with his teammates. That's what I want.
Now, Eric, let me ask you this. When Haason Reddick was in Japan a couple months ago, did you run into him? Did you get a chance to catch up with him and say, what are you doing? Show up?
He was hiding from me, yeah.
Was
I was
he?
going to ask, yeah.
How long have you lived in Japan? Are you from New York originally?
Yeah, I was actually born in the Bronx. My dad joined the Marine Corps, and then I moved around the States for a while. And then, yeah, I've been out here since 2011, so I've been out here for 13 years.
Wow, I guess you like it if you've been out there that long.
Yeah, I'm married to a woman out here. All my friends are from here. I love traveling. Yeah, and I just love supporting the team. I'm trying to get all of my wife's friends' husbands. I give them some of my spare jerseys, so I'm trying to build the fandom out here. So
That is awesome. Well, so what time is it in Japan right now?
it's 1:46 in the morning right now. It's Sunday, so yeah, I'm just chilling right now. Grab some coffee and just kind of enjoying the night. It's good weather right now. So
Wow. Okay. So so the Jets play Monday night in the U.S. It's 8:15 Eastern. What time is that in Japan for you?
I think when I looked up on the search stuff on Google, I think it's going to be like maybe 1:15 in the morning for me Tuesday morning. So yeah, so I'll be waking up early. Yeah, it's going to be a rough one. But hopefully, because the Cowboys game that I watched last year, I had to wake up early and I watched a pretty bad game. So hopefully this one's going to be good. So for sure.
I love it. Well, Eric, if you could call the post-game show, you'll be it's going to start late after that night, but it's like your morning drive show, baby. So
yeah, for
feel
sure.
free to call in if you can.
Hey, love you guys. King Lowski, keep that same energy, dude. And let's fucking kick the San Francisco's ass on fucking Monday Night Football, baby. Let's go, guys.
Eric, I appreciate it, man. Great call from Japan, man. We don't get too many Japan calls. We've gotten some Israel calls, some calls from various places in Europe, Japan. And Eric says he's called before, his second time calling. So how about that? Great call from Eric. Great internet, too. Jimbo says, glad our king gave his sermon. No need to fight. We without seeing any action. Everybody love everybody. Our anger should be directed to that guy, number 7. Jimbo, thank you. Amari with an Asmaniacs super chat. Hypothetically, if we traded him, what could we get in return? Nothing. There's no value right now. Even if he shows at the practice, do you think he'll be a cancer in the locker room? I don't. Haason Reddick's not known to be a bad guy, bad teammate. He wants to be paid. Players understand it's a business. He hasn't been around, so I don't think he'd be a problem around the team. If he were to be, the Jets would just get rid of him. Like they would put him on the non-football list, and that'd be it. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. The issue that has dominated the show has not been Haason Reddick being ruled out for week 1. It has been Dave Briga versus BMAC. A lot of controversy surrounding the storyline. Let's get the latest now from BMAC himself.
B-Mac.
Look at my TV.
B-Mac.
I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets. Go Jets.
Hey Jake, do you mind? Can you put me on camera this for myself so I can fully explain my and bear with me, my internet's choppy. Just bear with me because I need to get this out, man. First of all, I never trust the New York Jets this morning. I never said a disrespectful thing to the New York Jets. Dave went on Paul Boyd's show and called me out, saying that I'm a fake, I'm a phony. You know me, I'm not a real Jet fan. I'm a far bandwagoner. And I got upset and I went back and clapped back at him. I made some personal remarks, and I never trashed the Jets. I never said nothing bad about the Jets. I said to Dave is that Dave, you should be happy that I'm a bandwagon Jet fan and supporting this team, because the Jets have been bad for so long. You know, I mean, I was outside of the 2 back-to-back AFC Championship appearances, but outside of that, the Jets like you were never seen a bandwagon Jets fan, and that's all that I said. And then after that, I told him to sit his OASS down, and a lot of people, a lot of Johnny and TR took that personal. And they fought by me saying that they thought that I was disrespecting them and the old generation Jet fans, and I wasn't. That was strictly towards Dave Braga, because Dave Braga went after me for no reason, and he called me and he disrespected me. And I just want to know is that I'm not the only Packer Jet fan that's supporting the Jets. I support the Jets because I love Rodgers. And I do love the Jets. I love their logo. I think the Jets have amazing fan base. I love all the Jet contract creators. I never, ever talk trash about the Jets, and I would never disrespect the old generation like Rob V, TR or Ricky New York. You know what I mean? Like those guys have lived through it, man. Like they lived through it. Now maybe what I said, maybe I shouldn't have said. Maybe I said it out of anger, and maybe I made a mistake. I said something by mistake, and we all do that. When we get mad, we all do that. We all say things that we don't need to that we don't need to say. But I just didn't like how Dave was coming after me and attacking me and calling me all these names that are not true. You know what I mean? And first of all, attacking my character. Like if you don't know me and you attack my character and without any background check on me, I don't like that. So yes, I got mad. I went after him. I would love to talk to Dave calmly and have a because see, when I'm on here, I don't go on here to fight and disrespect people. I go on here to talk football. And just to talk about football, period. Because I love football, man. I love football. I love this game. I love what this game brings. So I just want to come on here and clear the air that I still love the Jets. Jake, I still love you, and I would never disrespect you or nobody in this Jets fans.
Chat, your thoughts on what BMAC had to say. I know Dave's not buying it, BMAC. He wrote in, you're a fraud, bum, and now a liar.
Well, that's okay, Dave. I don't want you to believe what I'm saying. I don't want you to buy what I'm saying. What you think doesn't matter to me. I just want to come in here and tell my side of the story. And I love everybody in this fan base, man. And I do want to say this shit real quick. If I was a bandwagon and going to fan like that, and I was just using the Jets for clout. When Rodgers got hurt on the 4th play of the year, and when he missed the entire season, I still called in. I still called into the show and talk about the team, and when the team was going through bad, stretches. I still called in and support this team. So that's not what a bandwagoner fan does. And I picked the Jets to go 13-4 and get to the Super Bowl. So how am I disrespecting the Jets and saying the Jets are trash when I'm here wearing this, wearing a Jets hat and saying that the Jets are going to have a great season? So Dave won't call me a liar. No, Dave, you are a liar because I never said the Jets were trash.
Strong retort from BMAC. The chat having a lot to say. BMAC, I appreciate you calling in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And by the way, I'm not a fraud. I am a proud Black American man who is proud to be a Packer and a Jet fan at the same time. All right, I am a proud Black man. All right, I am a proud American who will defend this country proud and strong. All right, so Dave, don't call me a fraud because you don't know me like that. And I will apologize for calling you, a wrinkled old man. I shouldn't have said that. I gotta respect other people because I don't like when someone makes fun of me about my stuttering. So I gotta respect people too in that sense. But Dave, don't call me Fall because you don't know me like that, Dave.
I will say the wrinkled old man comment might have had something to do with Dave's reaction to all this.
Yeah. And look, I apologize. I should have said that. It was a heat of the moment. You know what I mean? And look, like I said, we always say things that we British people take back. And Dave, you seem like a great dude. I don't know you personally, but hey, and me and you hook up in person. I would love to chat with you. Pick your brain. You know what I mean? How was it watching? Joe Namath playing that Super Bowl and the Jets history, and I would love to talk to you about that. And then I will, and I would love to go down to my AME and sit and chat and just have a nice conversation.
Well, B-Mac, I think you've said a lot during the show and apparently on the Boy Green show. My piece of advice to you would be, just let things kind of chill a little bit, all right? All right, don't be getting in a kerfuffles with the Jet fan. It's a very, very, very highly energized time for us. All right, we're all riled up.
All right.
Thank you, B-Mac.
B-Mac. Hey, you hater guy. Alan sucks and JJ can kiss my ass before I wipe.
Now, I do think Gator might have to update the B-Mac outro to include some sort of line about Dave being a wrinkled old man. This is not me saying that, Dave. I love you. This is just from B-Mac himself. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get back into your calls. We're hoping to be joined by a very special guest any second now to give his perspective on the B-Mac versus Dave Briga feud that has caused a lot of controversy on a Saturday program. But first, we check in with a Mount Rushmore caller.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Okay, what is actually going on? I thought everybody liked each other. What happened?
No. Tensions are high this afternoon, B-Mac.
Who's David Briga? I heard.
Oh,
it.
you know Dave. Well, Dave wanted to join your show, but he said he couldn't handle the Bobby Zoom. It was too much.
Oh, sorry, David. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I didn't know. Why is it too much?
There's just too much going on.
It's not too much going on. We've been slow lately. We haven't had long that one time.
I don't know. I've heard there's too much going on from Dave. That's what he said.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know why B-Mac called him a wrinkly old man.
Yeah.
He's not that old, is he?
I haven't counted his wrinkles, so I don't know.
I don't think he's that old. He doesn't look that old to me.
I will say I did tune into your show last night, Bobby, and I can understand why Dave was a little intimidated.
Well, I wasn't on last night, so that's not last night's show. I might go on after your show.
Are you?
I might, yes.
All right. Well, I would encourage you to rewind and find out what went down between Dave Briga and B-Mac on the Boy Green show today.
Oh, okay. Well, I will do that. Okay.
Now you rewind, call back in after you heard Dave and B-Mac go head to head, and then you weigh in, all right?
All right. No problem.
Well, I need to walk more to survive unless Jake is going live. Gotta elevate my leg. I'm Bobby.
All right, for more on this story, we got to go right to the source. Ladies and gentlemen, it all went down on this guy's program this morning. We say hello to Boy Green right now. Boy Green, thank you for coming on and hopefully being able to provide a very unique and important perspective on the Dave Briga versus B-Mac controversy.
Jake, thanks for having me. It's the power of the Asmaniacs because I got several tweets at Boy Green. You got to call into Jake right now. We need the story. Jake, ball, Jake. I'm like, okay, Biv. In the middle of Syracuse football game over here. Syracuse trying to beat a top 25 Georgia Tech team. Syracuse up 14-7 right now, 10 minutes and change. They're moving and grooving, baby. But anywho, if people aren't looking for some Syracuse football play-by-play, what they're looking for is this B-Mac Dave thing. Here's the shish kebab. Or I could try to give the spiel. I could answer any questions you have, Jake. But basically, Dave called into the show first this morning. It was a historic show, great 2-hour program, very nice. Bunch of emojis given out. Shout out to FL Phil 98. I don't know if he calls in over here, but he's a great caller. Anywho, we have Dave call in, and Dave does not like BMAC. I'm just going to lay it all out on line. He hates BMAC's guts. He hates when BMAC calls into the show. I see him every time BMAC's live on air. Dave's like, cut this short. Get rid of him. Cut it. It's over. So I see that he hates BMAC's guts all the time. So that kind of entertains me when BMAC is on the show. And at the end of his call, and let me ask you first, Jake, if you are a proponent of this, are you a proponent? Are you a fan of if you say with all due respect, you can then say whatever you want?
I mean, it's a mechanism we've all used before, but we know what you're really saying when you say with all due respect.
Dave said about BMAC this morning at the end of his call, he's like, there's nothing wrong with BMAC. I love the guy. He's great. But he's terrible, brings nothing to the table. He's terrible. He's zip and pip. He's one of your worst callers you ever had. And, Paul, I'm not going to tell you to do your show, but if I was running the operation, I'd cut that short and do this, that, and the other. And he goes off. And then he's like, God bless, signs off. Dave doesn't know this. We know this, Jake.
We lost Boy Green. Did Dave yank his internet? Was the truth being revealed? We lost Boy Green. We lost him. Hopefully we can get Paul back. We lost him mid breakdown there. And the one thing I would add too, Dave made a comment that Boy Green was allowing BMAC on the show for 20 minutes. So I got to ask Paul about that. He just called back in. Boy Green, okay, finish your point, and then I got to ask you. Dave Brigham was basically saying that you allow BMAC to almost monopolize the airtime on Boy Green Daily.
Yeah. So I don't know. Where did I break off there? Where did it cut off?
You were basically explaining, the very end of kind of what happened.
Oh, yeah. So as we know, Jake, for people who call into our show, we can see who's waiting to come on.
Yep.
And I saw BMAC was waiting when Dave was ripping him to shreds. Again.
Oh, no. Damn it, Dave. Stop cutting off the man's internet. Let him finish his point. Why does no one have good internet today? Bobby, why does no one have good internet today? What's happening?
I don't know.
It's crazy. All right, we'll go back to Boy Green right now. Boy Green.
Man, and I have the stream. I downloaded the special StreamYard app that's supposed to be even better because it won't let me just call in on something else. Maybe I have to hop on over to the computer in a second. But yeah, I don't know what's happening. Long story short, BMAC ripped Dave to pieces. Called him something about his old balls and the wrinkles that are included. It was quite vivid, quite specific in nature. But I will say, one of the parts I heard I tuned into the show when you just had BMAC on. I said, "Oh, let me hear what BMAC's saying." BMAC said he didn't say anything disrespectful about the Jets. That's when he was going after Dave. He said, "Dave, you should enjoy that I'm a bandwagon fan hopping on because you guys have sucked since Super Bowl III, and if I'm coming on, that's good news because that must mean you don't suck anymore." So he's saying like we should be blessed that we even have him in our presence, that another fan would care enough about to come over. And when he was saying that on the show, I kind of laughed and said, well, I guess that is good news. All right, welcome aboard. But all our listeners did not take that part very well. They said, hey, man, if you're going to be a part of this thing, you got to be in this thing all the way, basically. So, yeah, that was basically the shtick of today. And then callers came in immediately after the show, and they wanted to say, hey, man, BMAC, if you're going to be a part of this thing, we're fine with fair criticism, Jake. When Jets do things you don't agree with, you're more than willing to talk about it on the show. But, yeah, that's the piece of the equation that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, called immediately and said, if BMAC doesn't clean up his shit, they're basically going to mug him in the YouTube streets.
Well, based on what we've heard here from you, of course, King Lowski's perspective on it, I do think B-Mac did disrespect the Jets, but I don't think he meant it. I think he was very angry. He was pissed, and I'm willing to give B-Mac the benefit of the doubt. It's clear that he has an issue with Dave Briga, and as we've learned, it is clear Dave Briga doesn't like B-Mac at all. That B-Mac can maybe cure cancer, and Dave Briga's response would be, you should have done it faster. So I think based on everything we know, it does feel like this kerfuffle is between two guys who don't like each other. Unfortunately, the Jets were we're like the children in the divorce. They kind of took some unnecessary shots here, but I think we all need to kind of get along, get back on track. And here's really the big question, Boy Green. If B-Mac calls into your show, will you put him back on at this point?
It's a good question. I would say yes. Now, Jake, you're better at this. You have we both have radio backgrounds. Normally, when a caller starts going wild, you're supposed to go, and let's pod that one down. God bless. Thank you very much. You have a good hook here on the show. If people start going too,
Dave did it again. He bumped Boy Green off the air. Incredible. Now, I am seeing Dave is in the chat here. Paul, thank you. The bum has been exposed. So that's Dave's perspective on this. Boy Green's internet is working again. Let's go back to it. Go ahead, Boy Green.
oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. Am I back?
You're back. Yep. And you're not. Maybe go to the laptop or the desktop. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Midnight is waving to come back on. Bobby, did you watch the Dave versus B-Mac situation?
Yeah, hey, B-Mac, I got gray nuts too. So you want to make fun of me? Dave's old man like me. I got gray nuts too. So do not say that on public thing, okay? Do not say the guy has gray nuts, okay? He's a good guy. So wait, you don't have to pick on him. Pick on me if you want to pick on somebody. I got gray nuts, okay? All right? Be nice to Dave Briga, okay? You're making Jake laugh a lot. He's going to pee in his pants soon, okay?
I'm laughing at you.
I know. I got gray nuts. I'm telling you that. That's true. You have to see my...
You know I love to talk and hate to type. Jake, when is your next show? Alan is a cartoon character. Bobby.
I can't. Boy Green's back with us now. Hey, Paul.
Yeah. Wow. That was vivid. A little too vivid, perhaps. Yeah. So I'd welcome B-Mac back on the show. Yes.
I just, it's a shame that this happened, but I do think B-Mac didn't mean what he said. Knowing the guy, he's called into our shows for over a year now. I'm willing to give B-Mac a break. I think him and Dave have their issues, and my advice to B-Mac would be don't acknowledge Dave, and Boy Green's internet continues to stink. Don't acknowledge Dave, and vice versa. Dave, don't acknowledge B-Mac, and we all could hopefully coexist. This is a unique super chat here. This one is from Metro Funny. This one is for Bobby's Gray Nuts. All right, well, I appreciate the $10. If I have to read a super chat about nuts, at least I'm being paid for it. Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat has come in from Boba Jet, who says, Master Jedi Dave versus Darth B-Mac. JJ had a super chat earlier. Is B-Mac teary-eyed? Don't cry. It's not serious. There's a lot of emotions in the show, JJ. Back off. Nick Shine's in the house. He says, breaking news. My shoulders... Can't wait to have you back on them. I'm there Monday. Wow, that is breaking news. Nick Shine's going to be in the house at T-Squared Social for the big party Monday night. We will be up on the Shine shoulders, leading Jet Chance throughout the night. Excellent. Super chat here from a different JJ. This is JJ Vittori, who checks in. He says, Asmaniacs, let's chill, family. Game day in 2 days, and enough of the JJ negativity. Gonna have to make a point to start calling in to spread positivity. Where's the call-in link, Jake? Also, Team B-Mac. All right, there you go. The call-in link has been pinned. I have posted it several times because apparently on a mobile, it maybe like disappears if the chat goes crazy. And if you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot. The chat has gone crazy today. But I'm here to tell you all, but the call-on link has been there. All right. Now let's continue with a couple more calls before we wrap up the show. Let's go to James. He's been waiting the longest. Hey, James.
What's going on, Jake? Thanks for having me on. It's been a long time.
James, welcome back.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I've moved back to the East Coast, so I'm ready to go to some Jets games this year.
Will you be at the home opener?
I'm looking to buy tickets. They're just so damn expensive. I don't know why they're charging.
I'll save you
us.
$20. Go on SeatGeek and use promo code Jake Asman.
Oh, I'm already well aware of that. I've been just because I haven't been on the show doesn't mean I haven't been watching, my friend. Big fan of the show.
Love it. Thank you, James.
Absolutely. Two things. One, your jersey link from Parts Unknown no longer works. They got rid of all the jerseys.
There's actually a new one, but you have to be on my Patreon in order to get it.
Fair. Didn't know that. But as far as the Haason Reddick situation, I think it's overblown, man. And it'd be nice to have him on the field. We're definitely better with him on the field, 100%. But at the end of the day, this defense is still elite. Like Quentin Williams is going to get double and triple teamed all day. JJ, I think, is going to level up from year 2 to year 3 like he did 1 and 2. I think Kinlaw is a great addition. And I think Will McDonald has a huge opportunity. I mean, we drafted him in the first round in a position that we already had some depth at, and we didn't really need him. And he needs to step up. You know, this is an opportunity for him to show that we don't need to bring in another guy next year. We don't need to sign Haason Reddick if he does actually show up. And we can just run with our first-round draft pick. He's a super freak athlete, and I think he can put some pressure on Brock Purdy.
If Will McDonald has a big game, you feel way better about this entire defensive line going forward because he was a 15th pick for a reason, James. If he goes out there and balls out with what we know Jermaine is and Quentin, like, they're going to be okay. But
that's what I'm saying.
They'll be okay.
I think he's got a great opportunity. And if he doesn't show up, then it's going to be another flop for Joe Douglas. Like, I'm watching Mekhi Becton at right guard was hilarious last night after his tweets. Oh, I'm a left tackle. And now he's playing right guard for another team just to stay in the NFL. But, Joe Douglas has been hit or miss on a lot of drafts. And if we drafted a guy like Will McDonald, and he can't step up in year 2 and at least show that he's an NFL caliber player, that's a big problem and a big mark on Joe Douglas's resume, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Will McDonald has to take a huge step forward. James, good call. I mean, he doesn't need to be a 3-down player, great against the run. He's got to be able to rush the passer at a high level. I think he can do that, but we'll see. Boy Green has weighed in the chat. Sorry for the technical issues from the phone, but the Jets' insult was caught in the crossfire. BMAC is welcome back, of course. I'm all for healthy discourse, but let's not get personal. Go Jets. Amen, Boy Green. Look, Dave hates BMAC. BMAC lashed out. The Jets, unfortunately, were caught in the crossfire. I think we all got to give BMAC the benefit of the doubt. He's a good guy, right? He's been calling the show for over a year. Aaron Rodgers has only played 4 plays for this team. All right? I'm a BMAC supporter, and I think we all got to take a breath and be positive. We're days away from the season, folks. Slip Kid with an Asmaniac super chat. I'm 70 and you guys keep me young. Well, Slip Kid, we appreciate the support. Comments, questions, super chats. We're going to wrap up the show in just a bit. Appreciate everyone who's here, tuned in, who's enjoying themselves. It's a Saturday. Jets play football in 2 days. Texas is up 14-3 on Michigan right now. Quinn Ewers is carving up the Wolverine defense. Nick Shine says Carly is going up for a chant too. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine, a message.
I like good-looking chicks in that family. Wow.
Bobby.
Oh, yeah, baby. Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh, yeah, hide them kids.
Again, leave your damn freaky down.
Too sexy.
you gotta chill, man. Comments, questions, super chats will cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, a legend is on the line. And for the first time, we debut this intro.
Scott calling in. Ah! Whoa, what's the matter? What the hell is that?
What's up, my man?
Hey, Scott.
How we doing? Oh, it's close. Internet, all that stuff. But I'll just talk. You know what? Let's see how we watch the Ravens and Kansas City play. The toe. That was a close game. So those guys are in the AFC, NFC playoff games. Kansas City, Cincinnati, Baltimore, maybe Philly, uh, Packers. You look at our roster up and down, and you look who's actually has to play. It takes all 53 players, everybody. You want stars. We have stars at the right positions. Defensive ends, right up the gut. A quarterback. Everyone knows you do not want someone up your front if you're a quarterback. We got Quinnen Williams. You got Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Eccles, Carter. Not a bad place to start. And if you actually have the ball and you don't have to have the defense on the field, that's half of it. Not the big chunks, not the great plays that you see. Every guy that comes in, can we compete at that level? Yes, we can. And if you're looking at a 53-man roster, the guys that are coming in, Tyron Taylor, no. Olu, I'm fine. Moses, yup. AVT, he's been injured, but everyone knows in the league he's a badass. Aaron Rodgers, well, he can't play. He's a top 10 quarterback. He's old. He's crumply. He had a rib injury. He had a broken finger on his throwing finger. Anyone else in the media ever said that except for you? Nope. Why not? Do we have some issues? Yep. Every team does. Kansas City looked awesome. I'm going to tell you something, though. If you're going to look at Pacheco and say you have a running game, we got Brees Hall. Not only that, Braylon Allen and Akawanda, three-headed monster. If you have a running back, you can't have him. It's so physical. You can't have the guy just get beat up. Put him in the slot. Put him outside, make a move. Because if you put him on a linebacker, NFL knows a linebacker on him or a safety, which is now they're 5'10", 220, 215, just a tweener. You're not going to guard him. How? How can you do it? You want to stack the box? Just move him out. Get wider. Kurt Warner explained a lot of wonderful things. Thank you, Kurt. I appreciate it. I understood football more than I ever have because of you. Thank you. And as maniacs, if you can hear me, this is what it's about. Football, talking, friendship. You got it. Thank you.
Scott, great call.
Thank you. Oh, man. You're really scared of Scott.
That hair is fucking crazy.
Thank you, Scott. Good to hear from you. It's been a bit. You're the man. We missed you terribly. I'm still not convinced you're not a suspect in that robbery, though, because it's the first time in months we've heard from you. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. Nate is on the line. Hello, Nate.
Hey, Jake. Amazing show. Thanks for doing it on a Saturday.
When you have a show like this, it's all worth it.
Talk about Saturday morning cartoons. This has been well beyond that. This has been wild. And we're this close to football, and it's still about nothing but football. It's wild. To touch on Scott's last point, you like I said this yesterday, you have created a great community for us, and so many of us, including myself, are probably a lot more excited for the football season because of this show and because of all the content creators that have just been providing like 24/7 content for the Jets, along with the whole roster and everything else, and then Aaron Rodgers. Like, it's pretty thrilling. So I hope everyone should be there at T Squared. It's a great way to support Jake and to meet all of us. I'd love to see BMAC and Dave there. That would be quite the meetup. Not saying
they got to hug it out. I mean, we had JJ and Rob met in person, and they became friends. I mean, the whole key is for Dave Briga, whether he has wrinkly balls or not, Nate, to get together with B-Mac and sing Kumbaya together. Like that's what I want to see.
Let's be outside of Connor. Most of us got wrinkly balls in this chat. Let's
Look,
not.
let's call for what it is. Most balls are wrinkly. All right.
Most balls are wrinkly.
All right,
It's
breaking
very
news.
true. outside of my 3-week-old nephew I just visited, most balls are wrinkly. The gray ones, I'm interested in Bobby's gray nuts. Mine are. I'm getting there in age, but I haven't turned gray down there yet. There's a couple gray hairs that pop up, but like that, if his nuts are gray, first of all, you're going to see that unfortunately in the chat. Some user is going to be Bobby's gray nuts within.
I was about to say you just inspired a whole generation of asmaniacs, and Bobby's not going to be very happy.
Within minutes, yeah. Unfortunately, it's not going to be Jay Quest. Jay Quest, but it'll be someone trolling. Unfortunately, probably not one of Bobby's friends. All right, do we talk football now? No, we don't. With the whole BMAX situation, it was. I mean, Paul. There was lots of evidence, right? To we got BMAX side. We got you got everyone's side. You did the whole policing. But Paul Green laid it down. Like BMAC is kind of starting fights with you. He doesn't have. We don't have to. Like it's not his first time, or else I don't think the chat would be feeling this way. It's like there's no need to go after people. If someone wants to call you a bandwagon, which you kind of are, just rub it off and keep it moving. Like you'll be okay.
Well, Dave doesn't need to go after him though.
Can you still hear me?
We can't. Yeah, we still got you.
Sorry, we're back. My food's here, but
What'd you order?
What do you think?
It's a Saturday. Would you go? You either want a bacon, egg, and cheese, or you went up with a bagel. Bagel.
You were. This is why you do what you do. You were head on without the cheese. Bacon and egg on a poppy seed bagel. No cheese.
I mean, you're a born and raised New Yorker, so it makes sense.
I got to do it. Yeah, I can't. Got my mocha and then bacon egg. And then I can start my weekend officially. But yeah, so I just everybody ease up. Let's talk football. BMAC. There's no need to go after people. People are going to call you bandwagoners. People are going to tell you stop hating on people. Whatever.
Well, now here's the thing. BMAC's got to guard himself again. So we've seen this with Bobby. BMAC has to make sure he doesn't respond to everyone who's going to try and bait him now. Like there's going to be a lot of people who want to get BMAC going. They want their Dave Brigham moment on this show.
It's all good. Jake, I had a content creator go after my mother, my family, and call me gay slurs. All because of my Haason Reddick take. We all disagree. It's just football. It's just football, and it's the internet. Let's all just chill. Regarding football, and I have to say this because obviously if Bryce Huff had 3 sacks last night, we would hear from everyone and their mother about all the Bryce Huff truthers. Oh, we could have had this, and now we got Haason Reddick. The guy played the 4th most snaps of edge players for the Eagles. He was 4th in snaps in their rotation. He gets paid more than Saquon Barkley. He had 1 assisted tackle. So again, I'm not saying, and everyone in chat, well, yeah, he could still have 10 sacks. Yeah. He could still have a great season. But I just know we would hear it on the other side. If Haason had, or not Haason, I'm thinking Haason, knock on wood. If Bryce Huff had 3 sacks last night and he showed up, or he had 5 pressures and we could have had that for this price and da. Well, we don't. And JD pivoted to a top 5 pass rusher, and hopefully he shows up. And again, he still could have that moment for the Eagles, but as of one night, I just had to say because I know I would hear it. I would hear it on the other side.
Yeah, look, and if he had a big game, I'd say it's one game, right? I mean, it is what it is. Look, at the end of the day, to your first point, Nate, we all just need to get along, right? People are going to try and bait Dave Briga with loose ball or wrinkly ball comments. People are going to try and bait BMAC. We all have to just get along. The Jets play football in 2 days.
And if we disagree, we disagree. We all don't know what we're talking about, and if we're right, we're probably just guessing it anyway. So it's just let's just pray Robert Saleh and those guys know what they're doing up top because that's what matters, and we're going to win football games. We should all be on the same page there. And I'm sorry to BMAC for losing his quarterback last night. That was rough, but I did obviously you saw on Twitter all the videos from last year with that Packers bar that popped up with all of them cheering. So I would love. I still haven't seen, but I'd love to see videos of that same bar last night of those specific people. But two great games to start the season, and I have made my decision regarding tomorrow. We're not going to the U.S. Open. We'll be watching football at 1 p.m. NFL Red Zone.
Smart. Good
Gotta
good
do it.
decision.
Watching it last night, it was like I'm too excited. I couldn't miss all of that.
Well, Nate, excellent job by you. Enjoy the breakfast bagel, all right?
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nate parentheses Nate checking in. A good man. Dave says, let's bury it. I'm not sensitive or older than I am. I'm from an era where we hold people accountable. Dave, you're a good man. We're moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I have 4 people left on hold. Each one heavy hitter, unlike any we've seen before. First up is Keith. Hello, Keith. 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 Let's try and wake him up. One more time. Second time Keith's done this. All right, Keith, we'll check back in with you. Ladies and gentlemen, if we can't have Keith on the line, many of you are probably wondering, okay, well, what is Jake going to do next, right? He's been streaming for 2 hours and 11 minutes on a Saturday. There's no way he possibly has more compelling people to go to this late in the show, right? That's what some of you are thinking. And if you thought that, you don't know the show.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good. Hi,
Hey,
Jay.
Lane.
How you doing today?
I'm good, Lane. How are you?
I want to talk about, good. I want to talk about Xavier Gibson. That's what's been on my mind. How do you think he'll do starting in week 1 on Monday night? Because they're playing a great team.
I think he'll play well. You know, I think he's got good
Why?
chemistry with Aaron Rodgers. I think he'll be their kickoff returner. I think he'll play well.
Did you also hear about the Giants are bringing back the old uniforms from 1904?
I did.
Do you like them or not? With the red and blue?
They're kind of ugly, to be honest with you.
I think they're good, but I know the red and it's still Giants colors, but I don't know how long they're gonna last. Maybe be just limited time. What I wish they would do is bring back the old uniforms with not the NY but the whole Giants thing on the side, with the white and blue. That would be good to have the away ones and the home uniforms. I think they did it one time. I don't know why they don't have it anymore. Maybe because of cost, I think.
Maybe they'll do it later in the season.
So anyway, I like the Jets uniforms now. They're like the old style.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching all this, the final training camp, and they were moving the ball around.
Which way?
So, who played in the final training camp? I think it was CJ. That
CJ
played.
Mossy?
Yeah. And I also want to, way back when they had Vinny Testaverde, Revis was a good player back, and Curtis Martin. I miss those guys. But, yeah, and I remember who was in number 73 was Mr., and his name started with the number K. What was his name? 1970. His number was 73.
Joe Klecko?
Yeah, Joe Klecko. I watched it on, I think, SNY, his whole story with Namath, and he was crying his eyes out when he saw Joe Namath at the door. But he was talking about everything. Same as Mark Gastineau. Story, because I actually did meet Mark Gastineau and Herman. They used to play at Jets training camp, believe it or not. We were talking. Mark Gastineau and the other guy, Herman, not Herman Edwards, the other one.
Not Herman Edwards? Who's the other Herman?
His name is, I have to look it up. I'll just say Herman.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I miss them playing in Long Island. They used to play in Hofstra.
Yeah,
I think they moved.
they did.
Yeah, and anyway, I guess I like to talk about a lot of football today. I guess maybe because it's coming up. A lot of questions.
What did you think of the Dave Briga versus BMAC controversy, Lane?
You mean the other day? It was funny.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And it was also funny because you had me reading the paper in the park wearing a suit. Me reading like a TV guy. That's funny. You had that idea? Did they just paste it on? Like, did he take somebody's suit and put it
What do
on me? Or is it just
What do you think of your new channel emoji? Have you seen the
yeah,
in the
me
suit?
looking like Anchorman? Yeah,
Yeah.
with a nice ring, and I was drinking a I don't know what that was, a beer or something.
They call you Lankerman now.
That's an Anchorman. That movie's funny when he was fighting. He said, "Come take a taste," against the other groups. He got his hand. Somebody got their arm cut off, also with the sword. Not Oren Wilson's brother got his arm cut off. I think that's fake though. With like yeah, but I can watch the whole movie over and over again. So without going,
That's
yeah,
actually a documentary. It's based on a
yeah.
true story.
Really, really. Oh,
No,
I
just
didn't
kidding.
know. Going back to just the Jets. Do I feel like? Do you think I'm? I mean, do I think?
Can I ask you a question, Lane?
Yeah,
How do you feel about the Jets?
I think they're going to do good with Bruce Hall and Brees Hall, and also,
Is Bruce Brees' twin?
yeah, that's his
Okay.
twin.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and I was cleaning my coffee mug the other day. It was very dirty with coffee that I drank out of.
Well, I would expect it to be dirty.
Yeah. So, anyways, staying with. How's your dad doing? Good. Is he busy today? Jake Asman Senior. Remember I told him on yourself.
Jake Asman Sr. is doing well. Yeah, he's great.
And your sister's okay too.
Yeah, my sister Sadie, I
Yeah.
mean, she's great.
Why don't you ever have her on the show so I could say hi to her one of these days?
Are you hitting on my imaginary sister, Lane?
No, I just want to know how she is. Is she in college or not?
No, she graduated from college.
Carly's good too, actually, I gotta tell you.
Mm.
Sarah's good also, everybody.
Yeah.
I like I'm seeing my girlfriend. I'm seeing her tomorrow, actually. Probably
All the
gonna
ladies love you, Lane.
Yeah, so anyway, before I go, I just have one more question because I think you have other people online. Yeah,
The
I
floor
mean,
is yours, Lane. You can stay on as long as you want.
yeah. Do you think do I think the Jets are gonna win? Hopefully, but they're gonna play. You're playing a good team. Don't forget.
Oh, I won't forget. Thanks for the
Yeah,
reminder.
it's gonna be a hard game to win. All right, thank you.
Lane,
You
thank
can go
you.
to the next person.
Enjoy your
Bye-bye.
Saturday,
Have a
okay?
nice day, Jake. You
Bye,
too.
Lane.
Right.
Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lane train checking in. We go to Keith right now. Hey, Keith.
Hey, you got me on. Wow. I got so many things to say, and my mind went blank. You know. Had
You look like you
rough
just got
week.
up from a nap.
Huh?
You look like you just got up from a nap.
No, I've been. It's no, Jake. It's tough to sleep sometimes. I got up at 3 a.m. Can't go back to sleep.
It's been a wild show, Keith. I hope I didn't put you to sleep. I mean, it's been crazy with this Dave versus BMAC stuff.
No, this VMAC needs to chill out. I mean, he's on every show that I turn on to. And I don't subscribe to a lot of them, but I do get on when I have a break from what I'm doing. Man, he's on every show. And, I don't care if you have an impediment or not. I work with a lot of kids that have nothing. I try to show them inspiration And you know what it is? It's just showing up. That's all it is. Show up. They look at you, the smile comes right out of their brain. And I don't know what that does. You know, yesterday some people in some comments, oh, give me his drug dealer's phone number. I haven't touched a drug in next month. It'll be 30 years. I'm in 12 step. So you guys all know. And it'll be 30 years next month. If somebody says, yeah, well, he's drunk. I'm not drunk. Yeah. And it's been a roller coaster ride. But if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be going through what I'm going through now until the end of the road with chemotherapy. I got to tell you this. I posted what you wrote about me on Facebook on my channel, which I'm not a social media guy. I don't, I've watched too many friends commit suicide from their Facebook channel that I know down here. I decided not to do it. If that's the way to make a living, well, I'll find some another way. But what I will say is that Facebook sent me, it's like maybe that you get with YouTube, copyright infringements, you can't post this, you can't post that. And I'm like, well, what's the sense? You want to tell your story and you can't, because this is part of my story. No, I'm not falling asleep. It's just that it's nice to have a day off and just chill. And I got up at like 4 o'clock this morning. I started watching movies and I watched the review of the game last night. And the Eagles are going to be a tough challenge. I don't even want to bring up Reddick in my conversation with you, because you know what? All he has to do is hop in his car from Camden area, and it's a half an hour ride. He can show up at the thing. But maybe he's a little boy inside that didn't grow up. We all have that inner child. And I didn't grow up in Camden. I grew up about 35, 40 minutes north of him in East Brunswick. And Camden's a tough area to grow up in. There's lots of drugs, lots of dealings, all that crap.
Keith, here's the question that everyone is asking.
Yeah.
What is your score prediction for Monday night?
35-10.
Let's go.
Is Brock Purdy going to run for his life on the opener? Yeah! He's going to die. Let's go. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go.
Well said. Well said. Oh, Keith is right. All right, a couple more calls, then we wrap up. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is someone you just saw in that video. He has proclaimed that Brock Purdy will die Monday night. His name is Dre, and he's next. Hello, Dre.
How you doing, Jake, my brother? This has been a wild, wild show. Now, I'm just going to start by purposely, I'm going to say one thing about this whole BMAC controversy. Y'all need to stop coming for BMAC. And that's real talk. I got a zero tolerance for bullying. So if anybody out in real talk, I don't care what the Jet fans, older Jet fans, things like that. Okay, I have respect for my elders too. But at the same token, first of all, we have a great, one of the all-time greats at quarterback right now. And you know what? Some Packer fans who are rooting for their boy Aaron Rodgers, they're going to come and be bandwagon fans. Guess what? It's okay. That's usually a good sign that we're trending on the right track. We're going upward. People who weren't Jet fans, who weren't there during the misery, during the pain, during all of that, it's not their fault. They were smarter than us. They were like, oh, no, I'm not following that team. That team's horrible. Why are you And we were there, diehards. We were hanging out from the beginning, always talking, cheering our team on. We were 1-15, and we were cheering them on. So if you're going to feel some type of way about somebody talking about the bad history of the Jets, all they speaking is facts. So, real talk, you cannot, if you don't start none, won't be none. So leave B-Mac alone. You know what? Jerome's a Packer fan too. And Jerome is my boy. He could be, I welcome all the Packer fans. And I'm a diehard New York Jet fan, more diehard than most people know. So Don't even come at me. And if y'all want to come and say something, y'all feel some type of way, whatever, come at me. I wish y'all would. That's real talk. We ain't got the time for this silliness. This is foolishness. We infighting. We're going to pick who's a better Jet fan, this, that, the third. No, keep it together, people. Look at that. The fan base is already fracturing. It's not even week 1 yet. All right? Get it together. I won't be tolerating none of this foolishness. And best believe, when I get down to T Squared on Monday night, y'all better be with the program. Now, cut it out. And whoever, and I was going to start with Keith Best. I was going to fall asleep like he does. His neck got to hurt. We got to get Keith Best some kind of collar, some kind of neck pillow. So at least if he falls asleep.
Keith, does your neck hurt?
Yeah, bro. I saw that. Yo, that was not a good position. You was knocked out.
No, you know what it was? I wasn't knocked out. Today's the day off. My weeks, somebody said to me yesterday, he says, man, you put like 50 or 60 hours into this and you don't get paid for it. And that's the reality. And the reason I do what I do is because I drag I watched my mother with 2 years of this and she passed. And that was 1996. And she'd been fighting this a long time since she was 32. And that's not fair.
That's real talk.
No, listen, Dre, it's not fair. My sister died 17 years ago of this shit. And I don't know how I've gotten to 60 because I just do. I'm blessed. I have a great people source around me. They surround with
Keith,
love.
You are the man. I want you to know that, Keith. You're the man.
No, Jake, you're the man. You created this channel. This is the best Jets channel I've ever experienced. First four, the truth. Yes. Yes.
Speak it.
Let's go, Keith.
No.
You're the best. You're the best. I love it. I'm with you though. When I saw Keith like that, I'm like, I hope his neck is okay. I'm glad Keith is in good spirits though. Love it.
I am. Hey, you know what? This is what we got to remember. This is a community that came together in brotherhood, came together in friendship with family. VR was talking about this last night with your stint on the 4-1. You know what? I love my boy VR. He is the truth. I'm so glad you did that show. And this is what we need to be focused on. We are a community of Jet fans. We come together. We do not have the time or the inclination to start trying to be discriminatory. No, that's negative behavior. We're not doing that. We are inclusive. We are accepting of all people. Hey, I don't have a team. I'm thinking about, maybe I'll pick the Jets. Okay, come along for the ride. You don't know anything about the history, but you coming on. Connor's about to get the Jets, about to see playoffs. So Connor's about to see greatness. Let's think about that. All right. So let's keep it together for Connor. Let him experience something that we should have had from the beginning.
Drake, the focus needs to be on Brock Purdy and his status for Monday night. That's the
he's gonna die.
Hey Drake, what do you think about Brock Purdy?
He's gonna die.
That's where the focus needs to be at this point. 2.5 hours into a Saturday show, man. Who would have thought? So much for a breakfast, bacon, egg, and cheese. Hex says, the petty in me says we get to the Super Bowl, release Reddick that Saturday. That would be funny. It won't happen. Green Empire Lawn Care. I believe Brees will play like Barkley. I hope so. 3 touchdowns. Barkley looked good. He did look good, no doubt. Elton says, I've been watching this so long my AirPods died. What a Saturday show. 2.5 hours, folks. And I will say, as the show has gone on, the poll question of are you a BMAC supporter overall, no's 55%, yes 45%. I think BMAC with some good calls, ignoring the Dave Brigham noise, I think we could get BMAC back with a positive Q score. DeRoyd with a super chat going to stand by. He has hit the wall. Thank you, DeRoyd. Ladies and gentlemen, we got time for perhaps our final caller. We say hello to Dirty in the truck. Hey, Dirty.
Hey, Jake. This feels like a Jerry Springer show, dude. This is amazing. And those of you
it has been a wild one.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Glad that Keith is still with us. Keep on trucking, dude. You're doing great, man. The whole BMAC situation. Look, we're gonna have bandwagoners. We've always welcomed bandwagoners. That's fine because some of them actually turn into Jet fans. They understand why we love them, so why we love the Jets so much. On the other hand, sometimes we just got to learn our place in the pecking order. That's all. Nothing crazy. We got to know what to say and what not to say. That's all. Nothing nutty, nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people fly off the mouth. That's all. Lesson learned, right? That's what I say.
Dirty. Well said. Enjoy the truck today, all right?
Sir?
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Dirty, founder of Iconical Wear. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a wild show, but I perhaps saved the best for last. Not a caller, but something that's been in the works for weeks. We've had Asmaniacs put together banger after banger of hit songs for the Asmaniac album. To close out today's Jake Asman program, a show that has featured drama, excitement, laughs, every emotion you could feel, you have felt if you watched today's program. We are going to close out today's show with a brand new track to get you set for Monday night. Ladies and gentlemen, the premiere right now of the new song 17-0 that was put together by Will M, Jets Johnny, and Blitz BK. 3 powerhouse Asmaniacs coming together to make a masterpiece. So I end the show by saying, 1, thank you for watching. 2, hit the like button on your way out. 3, subscribe to the channel. 4, join my Patreon for info about the London meetups, access to bonus shows, Discord access, your name in the intro, 15% off every item in the merch store, and much more. And 5, I think we're on 5, RSVP if you're coming to the best watch party since January of 1969. That said, enjoy your Saturday. We have NFL football tomorrow. I'm on ESPN New York from 4 to 7 Eastern. So call in and talk Jets there. Enjoy the first football weekend of the year, baby. Monday night is fastly approaching. And now I give you the hit song, 17-0.
To go out there and slay the dragon, Aaron, like how important is that as opposed to maybe other places that have won recently?
Well, I mean, I don't know about slaying the dragon. Maybe it's becoming the dragon.
Word up, son, word. Let's go. In 2024, the Jets are going 17-0. This is fitted for the perfect Jake Asman show. Righteous Hall was the sauce, always in the mix. We dismantle the lead, no Nevo, cheap tricks. Step onto the field, no retreat, no surrender. Greeted white armor, contenders. Remember from at Laffy Row, on the road we slay. Every snap, every play, watch the predicate. Defense like a fortress, offense on fire. Opponents tremble, lost in the mire. First quarter to the last, with passion we inspire. Writing our legacy, all victories will never tire. Touchdowns and stride, tackles will play. League-wide panic, they gasping for air. Each victory adds to the till we reach 17-0. It ain't hard to believe, man.
Week 1 ain't no weak one. But see Mac hit the ball and watch a week run. If Purdy drops back, then he's done. Slay the team from the Bay, yeah, we won. We beat Titans like Tyson, total blowout. Week 3 at home against the Pats, everybody show out. Week 4 we score more riding Broncos. Watch the offense go up and down like the barcode. Week 5 lift the spirits with the nose to Darnold. Twin City looking shitty when we kick their asshole. Next week against the Bills, that's when we get lit. Party in the end zone, another big fit. Next week against Russ, but we show no rust. Week 8 Drake May, watch he go bust. Week 9 CJ, but he no clutch. Week 10 Kyler Murray, he not grown up. Nah, next the wrong AR. Right before the bye guaranteed playoffs. The rest of the schedule is looking pretty soft. We shoot down Hawks, dip deficient sauce. Crash the Jacks till the wheels come off. Rams in plastic bags and Bills get tossed out the window. So we continue to eat what's on the menu. Dolphins.
This is a song called 17-0. We got Will M on that Mobb Deep flow.
Week 11, all dogs go to heaven. Tony Richardson's been crushed by Quinnen. Joe Flacco brushing off the dust, they ain't winning. Nah, they ain't winning. Week 13, couldn't choose a better location. MetLife Stadium, Geno sit back and watch this demonstration. Try to test our defense, about to be a final destination. Running down the sideline, trying to make it happen. Trevor Lawrence, Screw Quincy, gonna keep it cracking. Hey, Sean McVay, you're gonna make my day when the Jets eat the Rams up like a buffet. Hey, Buffalo freaks, keep jumping through tables. You know NYJ, the New York team that's stable. Miami fans, keep on running your mouth. You'd rather be out clubbing or your ass on the couch. Tired of the critics and the one-trick ponies. Try to formulate a take that don't sound phony. Real Jet fans, please stand up. This is the season we've been waiting for, so don't let up. 17-0 is written in the sky. Keep on believing, and this Jet team gonna fly real high.
Is Brock Purdy gonna run for his life on the opener? He's gonna die. J-E-T-S, Jets, 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 let's go!
Thank you.